Hoping tonight goes smoothly and will be fun and exciting. I just got a message saying there's no sound. Is that accurate? Let's see. Can anybody hear me who's in my chat right now? Wave if you can hear me. Yes? Okay. Awesome. Well, the person who messaged me and says they can't hear me, I'm super sorry you can't hear me, but everybody else can. Contact your local IT department. Best of luck. Good vibes and prayers heading your way. Okay, great. Okay, so we took a month off. We're back. We're happy. We're excited. This is Chaos of the Feywild. What we do is we play 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, where I am the dungeon master. It is my job to tell the story a little bit and kind of build the world around our players. Our player's job is to pretend to be a fantasy character inside this crazy world, and I help them by explaining what's going on around them and playing as the different enemies and characters that they encounter, and then we use dice and rules to help us understand what's going on, and we try and have a great fun time. On top of that, what makes our show unique and crazy is that we allow you, the audience at home, to play along with us through Twitch chat. So what we do is we will have questions and polls popping up throughout the session. One of them is going to be popping up right about now. Let's see if I time that correctly. That would be really exciting. There should be a poll popping up now with a question and several answers. You can go ahead and pick which answer makes the most sense to you. During the game, these questions will also pop up, and you'll be able to choose things like what type of enemies should our players have to encounter, and different items they get, and all sorts of fun stuff that affects the game in small ways and big ways, and all sorts of awesome stuff. So, looks like that first question is rolling now, and we'll have that roll. Before we hop into tonight's game session, we do have a handful of sponsors that we'd like to thank. Chaos of the Feywild is made possible. We can do all these crazy things because of awesome sponsors and partners that we have. Our first sponsor tonight is Paladin Role Playing. So Paladin is a family-run company based in the UK with worldwide shipping. They also sell from Amazon.com, so you can find them on their website at paladinroleplaying.com or on Amazon.com and just look for Paladin Role Playing. They've got a UK store and a US store, and it automatically finds out where you are based on where you live because the internet can do that now, which is crazy. Anyways, they have acrylic dice, metal dice, wood dice, stone dice, a growing range of accessories and merch and hoodies and all sorts of awesome stuff. As far as their dice goes, they have 3 main criteria, which I absolutely love. The dice have to be gorgeous looking, they have to be fair rolling, and they have to be easy to read. Tonight, on our show, Paladin will be giving away 1 complete set of their incredible Wildwood RPG dice. I'm going to show you, I've got 2 sets of them here. Let me see if I can hold these up for you. So these are wooden dice, available in 2 different colors here. So it's an entire set with a D20, 2 D10s. You've got an 8, 12, 4, and a 6. This set is called Ebony, a little bit darker with kind of a pale yellow paint job, which I love. It's kind of a throwback to the old school dice. And then you also have the Rosewood, which have a white numbering on them. Anyways, absolutely gorgeous. We love Paladin. During tonight's middle break in between the first and the second half, we'll be doing a free giveaway, and the winner gets to decide which set of wooden dice, see if I can tip these without them falling out, which set they prefer, and then Paladin will get those shipped to you anywhere in the world because they're an international company and they are awesome. Make sure you check out everything they have to offer by going to paladinroleplaying.com. Thank you, Paladin. We love you. Now let's head over to James, aka the Ginger Vortex, to talk to us about Easy Roller Dice.
Absolutely. We are so excited to continue our official partnership with Easy Roller Dice. Head on over to easyrollerdice.com to check out their amazing selection of dice bags, dice trays, dice cups, metal dice, plastic dice, and a specialty stone dice. Right now, you can check out their Kickstarter campaign for their new color shift dice trays, which have incredible shifting transitional foil coloring. Check out all the new designs which were just unlocked as they continue to smash through their stretch goals. As a gift for our fans, Easy Roller Dice has opened up a discount on their store for 20% off your entire first order using the coupon code Feywild. Not only that, but they're also giving away a $15 gift card on every session of Chaos of the Feywild for the remainder of season 1. This giveaway will be at the end of the session, so make sure you stick around for your chance to win. Thank you so much, Easy Roller Dice.
Awesome. We love you, Easy Roller. Thank you. And thank you, James. Jen, why don't you tell us about another one of our sponsors for tonight?
Sure. Our final sponsor tonight is Eldritch Press, who are currently running a Kickstarter campaign for their brand new 5th edition adventure, Gates of the Shadow Mage. The Gates of the Shadow Mage is a 48-page adventure module that takes place in an ancient warlock stronghold called Shadowhaunt, left untended since its owner was defeated a century ago. The players are dropped into the middle of a long simmering war between two evil forces and have to choose who they want to align with as the story unfolds. The adventure is designed for 4 characters of 5th level and is intended to provide a high level of challenge. So, not us. It is setting neutral and can be easily dropped into an existing campaign or used as the basis for a new one. Gates of the Shadow Mage includes 3 fully detailed maps, 12 stunning images, high-res artwork, and multiple map variations, a stronghold with portals to 5 different planes, numerous branching adventure paths based on your decisions, 9 new spells, 7 new monsters, 5 new magic items, 9 new warlock patrons, and over 25 original character tokens to use on virtual tabletops like Fantasy Grounds. The Kickstarter is running live right now and will continue for a few more days. Make sure to check them out on the Kickstarter or on their main website at www.theeldritchpress.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Eldritch Press. I will say that I am a big fan of Eldritch Press. They put out awesome stuff. They've got great design. They've got incredible artwork. Holy cow. When I saw their Kickstarter, I went ahead and backed it. One of the cool things about backing this Kickstarter is you can get your name actually in the back of the book as a backer. And then they've got super high levels where if you donate a whole bunch of money, they'll put you as a character into their next campaign that's coming out on their next Kickstarter, like with your face and everything. It's awesome. Anyways, we love Eldritch Press. Make sure you check out the Kickstarter. And we're going to be doing 2 giveaways from Eldritch Press tonight. In fact, we're going to go ahead and start that giveaway here in just a second. The way that our giveaways work here on Chaos of the Feywild is you will just enter a keyword into chat. We'll tell you what that word is. All you have to do is just type it out one time. And once you do, and once you type it, you're entered. You can try and enter a bunch of times, but it won't matter. It won't disqualify you, or you won't get entered multiple times, whatever. But tonight we're actually going to be giving away, or Eldritch Press is giving away 2 copies of Gates of the Shadow Mage to people in our chat. So the keyword for that is the word acolyte. ACOLYTE. So go ahead and type acolyte in chat, and you'll be entered to win. That's going to run for a little while because there's going to be 2 different people that are selected to win. And then our community overseer, Kelsey, will reach out to you to grab your information, give it to our sponsor, and then they will send that to you. With this particular giveaway, the Kickstarter is still running, so it'll be probably May or so before you actually end up getting the Gates of the Shadow Mage, because it's still in production as the Kickstarter is continuing to run. Okay, awesome. The word is acolyte. Go for it. And you're not allowed to enter if you're one of the players right now. In fact, let's talk about our players. I'm going to introduce our 3 main players, and we'll just have you wave and look awesome as I do. First off, we have semi-pro announcer, player of Rocket League, and super great, fun, awesome guy, aspiring voice actor, James, aka Ginger Vortex. James, why don't you give us a little wave there? Awesome, thank you. Jake is a professional miniature painter for tabletop gaming and does awesome stuff, 3D printing and all sorts of stuff. Check him out. We also have Jen, who you can find on Instagram at LARPlit. She is a LARP enthusiast. She's awesome. She makes amazing costumes and does LARPing stuff and is super awesome. And I'm also going to kick it over to our brand new friend and first time guest player, Jay from Feywild, to introduce yourself. Jay, why don't you tell us about yourself?
What's going on, everybody? My name's Jay. I'm a co-founder for a company called Feywild. We make candles, hair oils, lip balms for tabletop immersion. I got one burning right now. I got started in D&D probably 8 or so years ago, and I absolutely fell in love. I never knew it would actually be as good as it is. I started DMing and world building shortly after, and now I can't stop. I recruit new players. I love bringing people into this community. It's such a great community, and I am super, super excited to be playing with you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay. You may recognize Jay and Feywild. They were actually one of our sponsors a few episodes ago, sessions ago. I've got, let's see if you can see it right back there, is right there, is Feywild. Yeah, we love them. They're big supporters of the show. They've got great fans, and we thought, why not bring him in and have him play with us? He's an awesome, enthusiastic guy, and we hope tonight will be awesome. So thank you, Jay, for joining us. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Chaos of the Feywild. Okay, so to recap, the last session we had, which was about a month ago, the players were journeying towards the Eladrin capital city, hoping to find the High Elves there to potentially answer some of the questions they have about all this chaos energy that's been cycling around the Feywild and spilling out into the Prime Realm, where the characters started the campaign in Ankeford. So they met the Wood Elves at their home in their capital and were traveling towards the Eladrin, and got kind of lost in this mysterious, foggy swamp. They met a farmer from the Prime Realm who had wandered into the swamp and got lost in the mysterious fog. They all worked together to take down a big monster called the Morwood, which is this legendary beast which had the power to paralyze people with its eye. They also uncovered an underground little crypt with a small volcano monster that was causing all of the smoke and fog in the first place, which was chosen by our live viewers on Twitch. They made their way out of the swamp and towards the jungle, where we will start picking up now. So, since the last session, the players have entered into the jungle, and the Feywild, as it exists, is already very colorful and strange, with bright colors and animals and flowers and plants all over the place. But this area especially is very exotic and tropical. Birds with exceptionally long, gorgeous, flowing, almost glowing tails. Insects that are 5 or 10 times the size you would typically expect. Large, dense, hanging vines and trees and overgrowth. And it's foreign and scary and beautiful all at the same time. Our players made their way through the jungle. They needed to camp overnight, and the next morning they made their way towards the capital city of the Eladrin, which is where we will pick up right now. So we join our characters as just over the horizon, through some of the trees, they begin to see some buildings in the distance.
Finally, civilization. We've done swamp, we've done jungle. I am sick of this place. Ponto, you were a rich man back there. There were so many things I could have paid you to eat. I say we move forward and get to the city as soon as possible.
I agree. And I, as customary, I make my cloak of billowing Billa.
Your cloak billows majestically and looks just really nice.
Yeah. I'm also gonna attempt to find like a nice ray of sunshine that I can stand in and just kind of bask and stretch.
Roll for me a perception check to try and find a nice ray of sunshine.
7.
7. Yeah. It's actually pretty dense where you are, and so there's kind of like a gentle fog in the air. Not that it's hard to see through, but it takes a while for you to find like a beam of light that's just pressing hard through the trees. But you do find one after a few minutes. It is bright and glorious.
Sweet. I look back at Anwin and Dyfree. It's like, I think it's gonna be a wonderful day today.
Can I druid craft a puff of air to like blow his cloak out and help him look slightly more majestic, and maybe blow away whatever smell may be lingering?
Yeah. In one fell swoop, you are able to with a swipe of your hand increase the billowing from a gentle breeze to like a very majestic, like whoosh, almost like you were flying straight through the air. Which makes him look awesome. He doesn't realize you are blowing the smell away, but you are very effective at doing so. He no longer smells like himself for a moment.
Thanks.
All right. I say that we shall continue forward. Eowyn, real quick question for you. The High Elves, how welcoming would you say they are to outsiders? Should we be prepared to meet any resistance on our way to the city?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't have a lot of experience with high elves. Wood elves, yes. High elves, not as much. So let's be polite. I look at Ponto. Let's not embarrass ourselves or lick anything. And let's be on our guard.
You got it. Polite's name. No, actually, it's not, as I strut forward down the hill.
And I start to play a cartoony song on my lute while he's strutting.
Roll a performance check.
So I'll roll a performance check. 21.
It sounds really cartoony. It's nice.
Cool.
I'm going to stop in my tracks, kind of glare back at Ponto, and then just continue walking normally down the hill.
And I'll continue to play the music.
Great. Now everyone knows we're coming.
So you continue making your way up and down the kind of gentle hills and through the jungle. As you start approaching the Eladrin capital city, you see the very, very unique architectural style of the High Elves. You see large, like sandstone or granite blocks making up most of the buildings, forming up into small kind of four-sided pyramids and other buildings like that. It's very reminiscent of Mayan culture. As you continue to approach, you can see that most of the faces of these rocks have very, very intricate curved carving depicting ancient events and rituals and history and all sorts of things. It is very, very beautiful and breathtaking, and is very unique to the High Elf civilization. At this point, the jungle is starting to thin out a bit. You've got probably 300 or 400 yards from here to the stone kind of gate on the outside of the city. What would you all like to do?
As I start to see like the large architecture, I'm gonna stop playing my lute and kind of like slowly put it away and look at Aowen and be like, I wouldn't expect you to be this gaudy.
I am going to also glance at the architecture, and as though my character looks very impressed, I'm going to kind of shrug it off and be like, well, this is good, but I've seen better, as I continue walking forward.
It's the Feywild. Everything's gaudy. I'm gonna scan the top of the wall and see if I see any, like, people.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, Aowen.
Ooh, that's a 19 plus 2, 21.
Yeah, with a 21, you can definitely see a few figures kind of moving across the wall. Um, and this isn't like a fortress. There's not a wall around the entire city. It's just kind of like a freestanding gate, kind of like an archway that is more ceremonial than anything. But there are a few kind of guards at the bottom of it, and one up on the top that you can see from here. They don't seem to have noticed you yet.
Just keep my eye out.
All right, let's make our way to the city, shall we?
Okay. As you continue pressing forward, and you get closer up to the gate, you can see that their clothing is made of an interesting mix of leathers and kind of small carved stone panels with big elongated curved feathers on the shoulders. Some of them are wearing headdresses. It all looks very ceremonial and ornate. There are metal patches with carvings on them, on some of them. Very, very notable. They are showing their wealth and their prowess through their clothing. You get up to the gate, and one of them calls out to you. Let's see. Actually, who's in the front? What is your marching order here?
I think I am in the front.
I believe I'm in the middle.
Okay. So you hear one of them call out on the left of kind of the archway. Oh, it's you, the knight from the king. You've come again. What great stories we've heard of you.
Of me, good sir. You know who I am.
Yes, of course, the knight from the king from Unkeford, from Jimmy the Stout, the knight you were sent to help the Feywild and the chaos magic.
Yes, that is I. Was not aware that the message had already reached this far into the Feywild. Who might you be, good sir?
Oh, I am just a guard here. Please come in. The game is about to start. We want you to watch and see.
The game?
Of course, yes. Today it's the 8th day, so today is Blur Ball.
Blurball? I do not believe I'm familiar with this pastime. Eowyn, do you know anything about Blurball?
Oh, yeah, game played on the 8th day. I have no idea.
Ponto?
Oh yes, I know lots about duck ball.
He knows nothing. Good sir, we would be happy to join you in this Blurball. Shall we follow you?
Yes, yes, of course. Come with me. And he begins to escort you through the city, kind of around, and you can see as you're following him, lots and lots of citizens are also kind of all funneling in through, coming out of buildings and around buildings, all heading to the same place. You follow him to a large arena, not almost a coliseum, with wide and tall, steeped, sloping stadium seating. As you sit down, there's several hundred other spectators there. In the middle of the Colosseum, in the center, you see a large, almost like a half pipe, running the entire length of the stadium, with kind of a big bowl surface, long and thin. And as you look closer, you can see there are small, round circles protruding off the top of the edge. There are 3 along the edges, and then 1 on either side at the far end. This is a blur ball arena. As you begin taking your seats, a few other citizens seem to notice you, and in fact, one of them comes over to the three of you and says, thank you so much. You saved our city.
Well, thank you, young fellow. We'll try to do whatever we can from here on out as well. You have my word.
Oh,
As I kind
yes,
of reach down and like kind of go to shake his hand, type thing.
oh, thank you, Knight of the King. You saved our city from the Kaitine. The monsters that were attacking, you saved us.
And I walk up next to Free and I say, yes, we two knights saved you. And we've done lots. And we would be grateful if you could point us in the direction of where we could possibly get some food or maybe a beverage or two to show to show the appreciation of the people here.
Oh, yes, right away. He walks away, and as the stadium continues to fill with people, you start hearing ceremonial music playing, drums, dum bum 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 bum, and large ceremonial horns. He comes back a few moments later with a bunch of stadium food and hands it to all of you and says, "Thank you. I didn't meet you the first time, and I'm so honored to be in your presence now that you have come back to us."
Yeah.
He leaves. And there's another minute or two before you start hearing the crowd is beginning to get louder with anticipation as the event is about to begin. Well, what are you all doing?
I am going to walk kind of to Aenwyn's side and just kind of like turn to her and be, I don't think they know exactly who we are, Aenwyn. Do you happen to know what the crime is for lying to a high elf? Should we be concerned about this situation?
Yeah, I think you should be concerned someone's stolen your identity.
Well, to be fair, they have done just what I would have done. I would have saved this city, obviously. But yeah, I think this might be time to maybe figure out exactly what's going on here. Does anyone, Ponto, Aenwyn, do you see anywhere that maybe we can talk to someone in charge or figure out what is going on in this blur ball arena?
I doubt anyone's going to want to talk to us until the game's over.
Yeah, and while they're talking, I'm just stuffing my face. I see someone with some kind of memorabilia on the head, and I take it and I put it on my head, and I'm walking towards the half pipe.
Yeah, they don't even seem that upset. Like everyone's just really stoked about the game that's about to start. As you finally settle down into your seats and everyone settles down, you do see in the top of the stadium, kind of in a box section, you see the Queen of the Eladrin come in, surrounded by guards and trusted people. She has a large plumed feathery headdress on, and kind of like a cape made out of like beads and metal and string and feathers and all sorts of stuff. She kind of, waves around and does a little spin for the people before sitting on her throne. At that, you hear an announcer announce the first team. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the Killer Quetzals. And the Killer Quetzals begin to stream in. So you see one team of 8 players coming in at one end of the half pipe, wearing ceremonial kind of athletic clothing. They come in. The crowd roars for them. Their coloring is kind of dark yellow and black with silver lining all over it as they come in on the east side. After another moment, the announcer announces the second team that comes in. What is the name of this team, Jay?
This team is the Rock and Trollers.
Okay, and as the captain of the Rock Controllers, why don't you tell us what the players see as your team enters the arena?
Yes, so out walks a tall figure in a blue and black leather uniform. His long blonde hair is tied tightly behind his head, exposing a pair of pointed ears. A black tribal tattoo rides his neck and disappears under the leather. You steal a glance of the vibrant blue eyes that shine when the light catches just right. He walks out onto the field, his team behind him, and they set up to play this game of Blurball.
Awesome. And the captain leading the team, you can see on the back of his ceremonial jersey, what does the name say?
Zeno Alarin.
Zeno, Zeno, captain of the Rockin' Trollers. So, as the second team comes out, the roar of the crowd is even louder, and it seems that people are especially taken with Zeno, the captain of the team here. The game.
Ponta.
What was that?
Included in that is Ponta, who has now started screaming and yelling like, "Yeah!"
Yeah. So the game begins, and Blurball is an appropriate name for this. The rounds are very, very quick. There's one ball that's tossed between teammates. It's hard to quite understand exactly what's happening because it's so quick, but you pick up a few things. There's the different goals along the side, along the edge of the half pipe, and it seems like they kind of have to like go through each one as they're making their way up or down. And then they're trying to score goals by getting it into the final one at the end, where there's kind of a goalie. But it's all very fast. It's all very chaotic, like something between martial arts and aggressive ballet, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. They're jumping and floating, and then also occasionally you'll see blasts of fire and ice and wind and shimmers of other magical things as they're using all these different spells to impact each other and the ball. And it is a sight to see. Before you even know it, several scores have already happened. One team is beginning to lead. It is Zeno's team, the Rock Controllers. The game continues on, and it's kind of frantic. Everybody seems very, very into it. Are you doing anything in the crowd besides watching at this point?
I'm like tapping on Diaphree and Anwen, being like, "Oh, did you see that? Oh!" Just getting really into it.
And then I'm going to notice that Ponto is like really into this, but sadly Ponto is shorter than most of the fans in front of us. So I'm going to kind of pick up Ponto and put him on my shoulder, if that's possible, so you can see.
I'm so engrossed in the game that I don't even realize he's done it.
I'm going to keep an eye out in the crowd to see if there's anybody like in the stands who looks anything like Sir Diaphree, who might like possibly be mistaken for him.
Okay. Roll for me another perception check.
16.
16. 95+% of the crowd here is all high elves. They all have very elegant, straight hair, lots and lots of braids, very eloquent. They're all wearing kind of similar clothing as we talked about before. In fact, Diaphree is the only human you even see here. There are a few other, kind of species and races around, but nobody who's wearing, metal armor, certainly. Nobody who's wielding a big sword and shield and looks like he's a Knight of the King. You guys actually stand out quite a bit in the crowd, and you do notice as you're looking around a few other people kind of like pointing and looking and whispering to each other, like making notice of you guys there, almost like they're seeing some sort of celebrity or something.
as this is happening, as they're whispering about us and like pointing at us, as forgetting that I have Ponto on my shoulder, I'm going to start kind of like waving like the queen did to all the people that are looking at us, not everyone.
Okay. Go ahead and make a performance check, Sir
Oh
Dyfrey.
no, I was waiting for this.
Give me that one.
That would be a 19 plus 2. That is a 21.
Yeah, you're like you look awesome. You feel awesome. You see people like swooning, like, oh my goodness, like look at this, like he's come back. They've come back. You hear people behind you saying, oh, this must be part of their reward for what they did, and things that are a little bit confusing. But you look awesome, and people think you look awesome, so that's good. The game continues to rage on for another 15 or 20 minutes. There are short breaks in between, but there's no halftime or anything like that. It's just kind of like quick. And then you all notice the crowd favorite, captain of the squad, Zeno, do something absolutely incredible. Zeno, why don't you tell us what you're doing?
So the ball gets tossed up in the air as you see Z dart after it almost in slow motion. A powerful leap leads to a rounding kick as you hear blinding strike. As soon as his foot makes contact with the ball, it radiates an intense light, causing you to squint, block it out with your hands. You look away towards the opposing team, who is completely disoriented, trying to predict the path of the ball. A second passes as the ball's light fades, sitting in the opposing team's basket.
That's awesome. And when he screams out blinding light, you hear a roar from the crowd, because this is his famous catchphrase that he uses when he does his special finishing move during the game. With that, you hear a loud blare of a horn as the game has ended, and Zeno has won for the good guys, for his team. The crowd begins to kind of stand up and start dispersing after applauding for a while. You finish your food and your drinks, and it's awesome. What are you all doing at this point?
I am going to start making my way kind of like around, trying to get through all the people leaving the stadium who are getting up, trying to make my way towards the queen and like the box she's in.
And I'm
Okay.
just on the shoulders.
I'm gonna follow them so I don't lose them.
Okay. It's pretty easy to keep an eye on them. With as tall as Sir Dyfrey is, plus, another third of a human's worth of height on top of him with Ponto on his back, they're pretty easy to follow. So you follow them through the crowd. As you guys get up closer to where the queen's box was, you notice that she is now gone. That box has already been vacated.
I am going to kind of turn around looking for Ponto, not realizing he's still on my shoulders, and then not seeing where he is. I am going to call out to Eowyn. Eowyn, the queen is gone. I think we should maybe try to find that guard that led us here, see if we can get any more information about what is going on here.
That's not a bad idea. Really, any guard person might work. And I'll start looking around to see if a suitable person is nearby, because I don't want to have to swim through more crowds.
Okay.
I'm keeping quiet so that, because I can tell that Dyfrey hasn't realized that I'm still on his shoulders. So I'm just gonna try and hide there for as long as possible.
Okay, why don't you roll a stealth check then to try and continue to not be noticed?
$24.
Yeah, you're very you're matching his movements enough that he wouldn't even notice you're there. I can't promise he doesn't remember that it happened, but you're not giving any any sign that you're there at this point. You're very stealthy shoulder ride. It's very cute and sneaky at the same time.
All right. Is there any guards nearby?
There are,
Can
yeah.
I attempt to look? All right. Can we attempt to go talk to one of the guards?
Yeah. Anwin, you were looking for guards, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. If you're both looking, you can both go ahead and roll perception to see if you can find someone near.
20.
0.
No.
How does that happen? How do I get a 20 and you get a 0?
Oh, as is tradition, I think every single episode so far, Sir Diaphragm has rolled a 0 on a check. This is insane. I can't believe this keeps happening. So is that a 1 minus 1?
Yes.
Okay. Sir Diaphragm, you, as you're looking around for a guard, realize Ponto's gone. You lost him in the crowd. And you totally lose track of where you are, and you're looking around trying to find him. Don't notice any guards at all. Ponto is. Go ahead.
Oh, in that case, I'm gonna start calling out Ponto's name. Ponto, Ponto, we need you. We're leaving.
And I'm going to join him in yelling for Ponta.
You hear Ponto yelling Ponto on your shoulders.
He's on your shoulders. You should put him down. He ate a lot of food.
You know, that is actually a wise decision. Ponto, my dear man, could you how do I put this delicately? Get off me?
Okay. Shoulders.
Sorry, what was that? You got to get closer to your mic.
Okay. I'll do a backflip on your shoulders.
A backflip? Okay, great. You do. It's graceful. It's beautiful. And quite funny. Meanwhile, Eowyn, you have spotted a guard. So there was kind of a procession heading out with the queen, and they've already left. But you do see another kind of city guard near the bottom of the tower where she had just left.
Okay. I'll motion for these guys to follow me and call out to the guard. Excuse me, sir, or ma'am.
Sir, yes.
I was wondering how one would get an audience with the queen.
You want to talk to the queen?
Sir Diaphragm does.
Oh,
Yes.
the are you the knight? The knight from the king from Ankeford?
I am a knight of the king from King Jimmy the Stout from the land of Ankeford. Yes, that is indeed me.
Oh, your good deeds have been told to us, and we're so grateful for what you have done. With saving our city just 4 days ago, and driving out all of the monsters that were here. Of course, we will take you to speak with the queen.
Thank you, my dear sir.
You do remember her name, don't you?
After the battles 4 days, I'm afraid my memory getting
He was
hit in the
hit
head.
in the head.
Yeah.
Oh, but
A little
of course,
foggy.
and of course we don't utter her name out of respect for her.
Yes, of course. Her name is Queen Chachihuitl.
Chachihuitl.
Chachihuitl. Of course you would remember that from being here just a few days ago.
Of course, of course.
So he can.
Head injury.
So he leads you through the crowd, past a few more of these ornate, gorgeous, stone-carved buildings. You get to the bottom of one that is a large, again, kind of four-sided pyramid with a kind of a palace built on top. You go up the stairs and up the stairs and up the stairs, and you finally make your way up. And you can see, after a small courtyard with a fountain, you do see the queen there, surrounded by a few of her inner circle there. What would you all like to do?
I am just going to kind of turn and look at Aenwyn and kind of gesture for her to like take the lead on this one.
Deep sigh. I'll step forward. I will bow to the queen, address her. Excuse me, Your Majesty.
Yes. Have you been here before? You don't. I heard, I heard from my people that, the knight who was here before would be here. This is not who you are.
No, Your Majesty. I am accompanying him. Anyway, Sir Dyfrey, but we believe there may be a case of mistaken identity. We heard he was here 4 days ago and defeated the Kytine along with some other monsters.
Oh, yes, of course. Sir Fetrin the Brave was here.
Ah.
Always Sir Vetrin. As I kind of look crestfallen, realizing that it is a fellow knight.
Yes, it was not you. Sir Fetrin and his group, they came and they rescued us. They graced us with their presence, and we were overwhelmed with them. We love them and we honor them, and we sent them away with gifts and presents for driving away the monsters. They told us that they were sent by King Jimmy the Stout to investigate in the Feywild and find the source of the magic. But why are you here? What is this?
We are also here to find the source of the magic. Do you know if their mission was successful?
We sent them away to go. We do not control, of course, the chaos magic. That is beyond us. That comes from from the nature. But we told them where they may be able to find answers. But again, why? I feel like they were so adequate, and you seem like maybe not as much.
Well, we are part of their party, and they are not as adequate as you thought. We met up with them, and they told us that they forgot what you told them. So they sent us back so that we could learn once again what you had told them.
Go ahead and roll a deception check.
You said deception?
Deception, since you're lying.
20, baby.
20 total?
20.
Okay. Oh, well, they didn't mention anyone else. They did not say, but if it's strange you would be here otherwise, so I don't know why you would be lying about something like that. She looks to her left and to her right to kind of the people around her, and you notice one of them is Zeno, the blurball player that you saw in the arena. She looks and says, Ambassador Zeno, what are your thoughts on these newcomers here?
Well, my queen, they look like an adequate bunch. Perhaps we should send them out and see what they can figure out.
There were reports. One of the other ambassadors, the potion master, has not yet returned. I worry that perhaps some of the Kytine maybe have made things difficult for him. Could you perhaps escort? What were your names again? It's not Sir Fetrin, who we love. But what was your name?
Your Majesty, my name is Sir Dyfrey. I am also a knight of King Jimmy the Stout from the land of Onkeford. And it would be, we would be honored to help you in any quest or any service that you see fit for us to do.
And my name is Ponto the Proud. I too am a knight of Lord Jimmy the Stout.
No, you are a trickster, I can tell. We have ways of magic here, and we know when people are telling fun stories. You do seem fun though, but you seem much too small to be a knight of the king. We have personal relationship with the king, of course, and I'm sure you know this already.
Oh, so he must have told you about me.
I apologize for Ponto's behavior. You see, he is a shall we put this, a very magnificent storyteller, and sometimes his characters become so real to him that he gets a little mixed up in certain scenarios. As I kind of glare at him to like be quiet.
I shut up, but I also kind of like slightly trigger my cloak of billowing, so it billows just a little bit.
I'm Aenwyn. I only met these two like a week ago.
And you are, I presume, a half elf. It looks like.
I am, Your Majesty.
Are you from the Feywild?
My father is.
Oh, okay. Well, it is good to have you all here. You seem not dangerous. But you're wishing to prove yourselves, or some be brave. What is it we can do for you?
We are wishing to help Sir Fetrand find the source of this chaos magic.
Well, we could use a favor. If you want to go and get back the potion master, make sure he's okay. Ambassador Zeno, would you please accompany them and escort them to the Potion Temple underground location, which you are so familiar with?
Of course, my queen.
Thank you. And unfortunately, of course, we already gave away the great treasure of the Eladrin to the brave adventurers who were here before. The arcane cannon. Usable in battle, in and out, grand and magnificent and powerful. We already gave that away. So we have nothing to give you in return for your help, but we do appreciate it. Zeno, Ambassador Zeno, if you would please escort them down and then bring back word once you find the potion master.
He turns, bows. Let's go. And he will escort you out.
Thank you, Your Majesty. We will do everything in our power to find this potion master.
Thank
we
you.
ask nothing in return.
Excellent. I plan to give you nothing in return.
Perhaps you could tell us where Sir Fetrand went when we come back so we could catch up to him.
Of course, information I give for free, but arcane cannons, we only have one of those, and the awesome group already got it.
I'm working on becoming an arcane cannon. It's fine.
As we go to leave with Sir Zeno.
Yes, so we leave the area with the queen, and as soon as she's out of earshot, Zeno's personality kind of switches to this popular jock type. So, the three of you are coming here to figure out the magic, correct?
That is our quest, yes.
It's a shame you didn't beat the other group who was here a few days ago.
Oh, don't worry. I planned on beating him very, very, very shortly. Very
They
soon.
actually had a head start.
Oh, is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see, they were afraid that we would get ahead of them, so obviously we gave them a little bit of a little lead on us to begin with.
Yeah,
And they left the castle first.
some would call it a handicap.
Well, if anyone knows about a handicap and giving it to your opponents, it is I. Please call me Z. My friends, my fans, all call me Z. except in front of the queen.
Of course. Z, may I just say that, what did you call it? Blinding Strike was most magnificent.
Thank you.
I am not much of a sports player myself. I did not understand much that was taking place in the arena, but that, my good sir, was truly something to behold.
I appreciate that. I've been training for years.
You're welcome.
So, do you have to go anywhere before we embark?
Ponto,
Uh,
you good?
Well, I guess we're going to get the potion master. I was about to ask if we could get some potions, but I'm assuming we don't have one of those yet.
Zeno, you would know that the place where potions would be bought and sold and created is all with the potion master. So they wouldn't be available anywhere else unless somebody bought one and was like reselling it on the side in like some shady black market thing, which is pretty uncommon for your society here.
That is correct. Ponto, I presume, right?
Ponto the Brave.
The Brave.
Oh, I meant proud, not Ponto.
Yeah, so we have to find the potion master in order for you to buy potions.
Okay.
I apologize.
So all good. Like pretending to be like cool jock as well. It's all good.
I like you.
I like you.
And
Well,
I started taking him to the potion temple.
How long is it going to take to get the potion master? Like, are we going to be gone a week? Is this going to be a couple hours?
You're probably like 15-minute walk from where his residence is kind of on the top of this thing, and then underground is his lab. Yeah, so ideally you could get there and find out what's happening and get back to her in, I don't know, like an hour or so, assuming everything's totally fine and normal, right?
Right, yeah.
Because Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, Zeno, lead the way. We shall follow you to. You said you know where this potion master is.
I know where the temple is. I believe it is up to you guys to find the potion master.
Fair enough. Shall you lead us to the temple then?
I will lead the party to the temple.
Okay. You continue making your way through, seeing this again, this very ornate stone carved architecture. People noticing you as you're going now, especially between the oddity that you are here, plus everybody's favorite champion blurball player. You guys are kind of like having to like push off fans a little bit every now and then as you're just trying to make your way through. Zeno, one of the ambassadors of the Queen, knows how to kind of deal with this type of fame and all of that, but he also has enough presence and clout in this city, in the kingdom, that people do respect him when he says like, hey, give me some space. So you're able to make your way through the crowd. You come up to another stone temple. This one's a little bit more kind of stubby than the Queen's Temple was by far the largest that you could see, and from up there you could see the majority of the kingdom here. This one's a little bit smaller and has a door on the exterior, so you can kind of make your way in. As you approach, you don't notice anybody. You don't see anything there, but there is a kind of a weird feeling that you all get as you're starting to get near the entrance there.
Z, may I ask you a question?
Of course.
So this potion master, we're in is the temple you called it? The potion master's temple?
The potion temple, this is where I believe he goes and creates his inventory. He has a shop back in town, but I've never actually stepped foot into this temple.
And has, pardon me for asking, but how does one lose said potion master inside his own temple? Do people not travel or see him very often? Or how long has this man been missing?
I believe he's been missing a few days. The queen has brought it to my attention just a few days ago. I have been pretty busy with the tournament that I haven't had much time to investigate.
Of course, of course. Just, is there anything you can tell us maybe about this man or woman's character that may help us find them or maybe help us talk to them once we have found them?
So
Just-
Zeno, you do know that he is one of the other ambassadors. So you've worked with him a little bit. You don't have a really good personal relationship with him. But he's been missing since the city was attacked a few days ago by the Kaitine, which the other group. I mean, there were dozens and dozens of these creatures that were attacking, and they're kind of a humanoid arachnid, like a small humanoid spider thing with extra arms and all that. So they appeared out of nowhere from a flash of chaos magic right when the other heroes had showed up. They fought them off and won the affection of everybody. But after that event, the potion master did not show back up. So you know all those things.
Okay. Yeah, he likes to keep to himself. Me and him, we do not have a very close relationship.
Ah, I see. Well, if there's any information at any point you think we might find useful, please let us know. Is the quest or the idea here that we just go and search for him inside this temple?
Yes, hopefully we find him or something that will lead to him. I will also make a point that I told you what the DM just told me.
Oh, so if nobody's seen him since that attack, is there a chance he's gone off with Sir Veteran?
Perhaps, but not likely. I don't think he would just up and leave like that.
Maybe we should go check.
I'm not sure if we know where Sir Fetrin is at this juncture, but we could send maybe a message to him via Hawk or somehow. But did you have an idea of how to check with him, Aenwyn?
Diefrey, you want to search this whole temple instead of going to find Sir Veteran and finding the source of this chaos magic?
Of
And the
course,
potions?
I want to, but we do not know where Sir Fetrin is, and we need that information. And in order to get it, I believe we have to find the potion master. Or did you have some other way that we were going to find him?
Never
I am
mind.
all
Let's
for
just search the temple
finding
for a
him.
couple hours.
Z,
When
I have a question.
Yes, Ponto?
You're almost always with the queen, right?
I wouldn't say always. Training and practice and games usually take up most of my time.
Of course. But were you with them when the queen told them where to find the source of the magic?
By them, I assume you mean Feltrin and his other band of heroes.
It's the less adequate. band.
I was not. Unfortunately, I wish I had more information to give you about this matter, but I don't.
Okay.
all right, are we at the door of the temple, or where are we in relation to the temple at this moment?
Yeah, at this point you do see a stone door on the outside of the temple. It is a little bit ajar. You could head on in if you'd like.
I am going to head to the I am going to head in. I'm just going to kind of walk and kind of push the door, kind of creak it open, and kind of peek my head in.
Okay. As you start to peek your head in, you do hear a strange sound from the inside. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break. So we will pause for a few moments here and resume on the second half with you entering the temple. So, a couple things here. Let's see. Did we have winners selected? Yes, I believe. We should have 2 winners for the giveaway from... I'm looking at chat now. If somebody in chat can make sure that we have those 2 winners for the giveaway from the Eldritch Press for the Gates of the Shadow Mage. Is that confirmed? While I'm waiting to see that, during the giveaway here in the middle break, we're going to do a couple things. So first of all, you're going to see a video from the League Esports, and they will be doing a top 10 from the week. So the League Esports is awesome. They do Valorant and Rocket League and Smash Brothers and League of Legends. They give amateur players the professional experience with tournaments and play-by-play and all sorts of awesome stuff. So they're going to show their top 10 plays from this most recent week, and then there will be a countdown video, and at the end of that, we will come back. During that whole time, we're going to be doing our giveaway from our friends over at Paladin for the wooden dice. So one second, let's see, I've got information coming in here. Okay, so the winners for the giveaway from the Eldritch Press were Gummy Hat and Full Metal Bobbin. And you've probably already been notified of that, but if you haven't, make sure that you contact or get in touch with Kelsey, who is our community overseer. She'll grab your information and get it over to Eldritch Press, and Eldritch Press will give you your awesome winnings here in about May or so when their Kickstarter is done. Thank you, Eldritch Press. We love you. That is awesome. Congrats again, Gummy Hat and Full Metal Bobbin. Okay, so the giveaway for the wooden dice from Paladin role-playing, the key word for that is the word Wildwood. One word, W-I-L-D-W-O-O-D. So type in the word Wildwood if you'd like to be entered to win a set of these amazing, gorgeous wooden dice. We're going to kick it over to the top 10 video, and then there will be a countdown, and we'll be back in about 10-15 minutes to see you guys here. So go ahead and start the halftime whenever you are ready, and we will wave until that happens.
Oh, I'm coming out. Another one. Hits that forward smash. Uh-oh. I do believe Blasian's at kill range, though, for a smash attack.
Yes, sir.
Will this be at the edge guard? No. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! The uppy stage spiked him! Oh, my God!
Falling back as last man. Sends it over to Kunj. Kunj returning the favor and going for the shot on target.
Oh,
it goes
low! What a shot by Kunj. A good pass coming out of Blades. He gets it into Kunj's hands, and Kunj just takes it from there. Look how he pinches it just right around Bruce at the
charge. Oh, damage starting to string together for Besku, but Besku is at 130. If Walrus engages here and manages to get a really clean. Oh! Hello, Yeet Smash.
That we do.
Uppy again.
Ooh, forward tilt taking him out. B2 up 2 stocks. He's got his own bomb against him.
It just looks like everything B2's throwing out is just connected.
I kid.
Well, we might just be about to see it. Already got 70% from a single combo string.
Man, this is only my first season here. Please, I want to stay
And
here.
I
Carson.
think this is
He
it.
did it, dude.
Finish
Oh
it with
my
a rest,
God.
no less.
Oh my god.
Beautiful comeback, Carson. I think that was actually a 0 to death, too.
Do the trash English accent.
Tuesday. In
This
it.
in the refine. Harry
Ooh.
Potter stuff is psychic.
Speaking of...
There's a shot by Chef. Incurcio barely gets to it. Chef going to keep it in play. He's got verse. Chef going to get bumped into the save. Did someone clip that? Did Tasers bump him into the save? Here's Nick's going to cut it off. This one going to be up to Gambit. Oh, what a pass play to finish it off. Gambit and Kai Dog. Absolutely cracked. As we have had a show.
Renty and Bruzy. Bruzy trying to keep it set up for Zach. Zach making the first. And air dribbling it over both defenders.
Zach Laura taking out the entire Fallen Angels team with the fake on one, and then he air dribbles both the last defenders and net and dunks. What a play coming out of Zach Laura.
Beautiful flick by Pigbeast, but sent back to Nyx. What a tap down by Gambit or Kai Dog. I don't know who it is at this point, but what a pass play from Fallen Angels.
Yes, we are, and that is awesome. Okay, welcome back from break, everybody. We are excited that you are here with us. Thanks for hanging with us. The second half of tonight's going to be super duper 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 awesome. We've got information coming in. Looks like the winner of the Paladin role-playing giveaway is Batman Master. Big fan, friend of the show. Congratulations, Batman Master. Is also one of the patrons on our Patreon. And this is not rigged. It's entirely random, but it is a good segue to say that we do have a Patreon account. Patreon.com/FeywildGame. If you'd like to support us in what we're doing in this crazy adventure we're on, and this different, unique, interactive way we're trying to play D&D here, you can join our Patreon. There's several different levels with different types of rewards there. A lot of you in chat are already subscribed to us on Patreon. We definitely appreciate that. We also want to give a big shout out to the League Esports, where this is streaming right now. They are the exclusive home for streaming for Season 1 of Chaos of the Feywild. They're awesome people. We think you should be subscribed to them and follow them and all that sort of stuff. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you actually get one free Twitch subscription every single month. Normally it's about $5 to subscribe to any given channel, but if you're on Amazon Prime, they give you that for free, and we think you should give that free subscription to the League Esports because we love them and they are awesome. Congratulations, Batman Master. Yes, the Lord Dark Chocolate has blessed you. That is awesome. Very proud of you. Thank you again, Paladin Roleplaying, and make sure you check out Paladin Roleplaying on Amazon and on their website, paladinroleplaying.com, for all the other awesome stuff they have. They've got wooden dice, metal dice, stone dice, I think, plastic, sweatshirts, hoodies, all sorts of stuff. Everybody should check them out. We absolutely love them, and thank you again for sponsoring the show and working with us here. Okay, we just sent out another poll, and it looks like the results are in. We asked you guys thought about Blur Ball, and the answer was that most people want to see that played as a one-shot and also to have the rules released so you can play that in your home game. Awesome. We will work on that for you. We actually thought about playing that as part of the session tonight, but the technical aspect of it was just going to be too difficult to put inside of a session and do all this. So we will look at maybe potentially doing that for you guys and let you know when that's available. Let me get back over here to our chat and make sure everyone's here. Yes, you guys look great. Look at you. Okay. So congratulations again to everyone who's won. We are going to have one more giveaway at the end of the show tonight from our amazing partners at Easy Roller Dice. It's a $15 gift card redeemable on their website for anything, and that'll be right at the end of the show in another hour-ish or so, depending on how things go. All of that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the second half of tonight's session. So, you put your hand on the door. Sir Die-Free. Sorry, I was going to say Ginger. So you put your hand on the door and you open up and you do hear kind of scratching and screeching noises coming from inside, echoing down the stone halls. As soon as you put your head there, you also can smell coming from in the chamber. It smells kind of like strong chemicals wafting through the air.
All right. As I hear this, I am going to immediately, after I hear like the scuttling and the noises, I'm going to cast Divine Sense to detect if there's any evil or evil creatures lying in front of us.
Can you specifically read that to me? Because I know that's a very specific spell.
Yep. So with this action, I can detect good and evil. Until the end of my next turn, I can sense anything being affected by a hollow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. I can use this 3 times per long rest. And yeah, so 60 feet around me, I can detect...
Celestial, fiend, undead, or anything affected by the Hallow spell?
Yes.
Okay. You
Celestial,
do not...
fiend, or undead.
Celestial, fiend, undead, or Hallow spell, you do not sense any of those particular things.
Mm-hmm. Do I detect any good or evil?
That is the name of the spell is detect good or evil, but those are the specific things that it does. So you don't specifically detect any of the things that the spell says you detect.
All right.
It may need to have a better name, but
Well, it's called Divine Sense, and it says, like, the description says I can detect good or evil and the undead celestial and stuff.
well, great. Yeah,
we
you know what?
we can change it later.
You detect some evil. Yeah, there's some evil in there. Sure.
All right.
So you can let your friends know that you've detected evil.
Hey, Ponto. Ponto. Speak up, Ponto. Speak up.
Yes.
How would you like to go first?
You know, I always like to. And I take out my lute. And start playing the loudest song I can think of as I walk in.
Okay. As you start jamming on the lute, Dingle pops up whoop, from your bag and looks around, and at the sound, kind of like, and scuttles up you and jumps off of you and over onto Aenwyn's shoulder and nestles down right on your shoulder.
Give him a little scritch behind the ears. It's okay.
Okay, so you're playing as loud as possible?
Yeah.
All right. You hear the sound reverberating through the hallway. You can see there's a long kind of square stone hallway in front of you that looks like it probably turns at the very end. But because of the weird acoustics in here, it's kind of echoing back more than normal. You don't hear anything else, though, besides your own playing.
Z, what is the name of this potion master?
DM, do you have a name for said potion master?
That is such a great question. You don't remember his name right now.
What was his name? I don't know. I cannot remember.
All right, well, that makes it simple, as I'm going to call it Potion Master. We are here to speak with you. As loud as I can, hopefully in the echo, maybe he'll yell back.
Okay. So you listen and you hear your own voice echo, and you hear one other thing coming back. And it's Ponto's music because he's still playing. But you don't hear anything else.
And while I'm playing, I'm starting to sing. Potion Man, come on out so we can see you anymore.
All right, well, is there multiple passageways? Can we see, like, is there one main one, or what do we see in front of us now that we're in?
So from what you can see, there's a fairly straight hallway. You do see a corner at the end. As you begin to step in, you also see that there is a branch off to your left about halfway down the hall. So there's probably about a 40 feet of hallway in front of you. Halfway down that, there's a branch to the left, and at the very end of it, it stops with a dead end and goes to the right.
All right. Do we know how big this temple is?
From the outside, it is medium temple sized.
All right. Well, Aenwyn, you said to get out of here as soon as we can so we can go catch up with the rest of our crew. So maybe we should split up. What do you guys say to that idea?
I think that's a great idea.
The only problem with that is none of us know what this potion master looks like except Z. And I have a really good feeling that if we leave Ponto, we're going to be looking for more than just the potion master.
I'm going to kind of glance at Ponto and then back at Aenwyn and be, you know what? That's fair. Onward! As I'm just going to start walking down, not to the one to the left, but the one straight ahead of us.
And I'm continuing to play my beautiful rendition of Potion Man.
Is this temple dark?
Interestingly, as you get in, you do see that some of the stones on the walls a few of them are actually glowing. Maybe every 10 feet or so, there's one stone inlaid in the wall that is glowing kind of a dull white glow. So there is a gentle glow in the interior of this because it's used quite a bit. Also, Zeno, you remembered the name of the Potion Master.
Oh, yes. It was Marky Mark, the Potion Master.
Ponto, you think you can fit that into your rendition of Potion Man?
No, I'm just going to keep singing Potion Man.
Well, fair enough. As we are going, I am going to just kind of like just keep walking down the hallway. You said it turns at the end, right?
Yeah, so as you get halfway down the hallway, you see to your left a super small hallway with a wooden door. If you continue to ignore that and go all the way down to the hall, it will turn to the right. And thank you, Twitch, for choosing Marky Mark as the name of the Potion Master.
Well, where do you guys think that we shall go? So we have the door on our left, you said, and then farther down it turns to the right or the left?
So halfway down the first hallway, there's a door to the left, or there's a short hallway to the left with a closed door. At the far end of the hallway, it stops and turns right. You don't know what's down there yet. You haven't gotten down there.
Z, shall we take the short or the long hallway?
Let us look through the door on the left, see what's there. Then we could choose.
Okay. Ponto, you're up.
I kick in the door and I'm continuing to sing Potion Man! Say yes!
Awesome. Your audio keeps cutting out, but I know what you're doing is great, so I'm very happy about it.
I'll do it lower next time.
Okay. That being said, though, it's a door that swings out, so when you kick it, it doesn't move. So you're just kicking the door and singing at it at this point.
I'm going to kind of like not push him, but kind of like walk and kind of brush shoulders with him and like glance at him, grab the door, and pull. Okay.
As you pull the door open, as soon as the door opens, you see a furry, humanoid-looking arm reach out right around the door, and another one that bursts the door open. And you're looking at a creature that is like a small human with extra arms, furry and fuzzy like a tarantula, that leaps out at you as soon as you open the door. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative for me.
I'm going to guess that's not Marky Mark.
That could be.
Ha! I didn't suck this time.
You got that out at the beginning.
Oh, no, don't worry. There is much more where that came from.
All right.
Many
Did
more.
anybody get above a 20? Above a 15? Die free. What'd you get?
I got an 18.
I got an 18.
Ooh,
Hey,
who has a higher dexterity?
My dexterity is 16.
My dexterity... I cannot find said dexterity.
Just at the top.
Oh, mine is 14 if I
Okay.
count my modifier. And then 13 if I don't.
Okay. Aenwyn, what was your initiative?
9.
The retro. And Ambassador Z, what was yours?
14.
Okay, let's see. Where did you go? Oh, there you are. 14, 9. Okay. Well, in this combat, first to act is Ponto Puddlefoot. So the creature springs out, so you're all in this narrow hallway, kind of clumped up. It jumps out towards Sir Dyfrey. You are the first to act. You can't quite see what's in the room yet because the door's only about halfway open as this thing jumped out and tried to kind of jump right on him. What are you doing?
Instinctually, I'm going to take my loot, smack him. Just kind of uppercut him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit with your dexterity as a modifier.
22.
22. Let's see. Well, for sure 22 is going to hit. So go ahead and roll 1d4 bludgeoning damage as an improvised weapon.
4, baby.
Okay. So it jumps out and you go twang and you hit him with your loot. As you do, the fuzzy arms kind of flail around. You start to get a better idea of what it looks like. You see the face. So there's human hair, kind of long human hair along the back. The skin is dark and gray. It has kind of pointy elf ears, but there are 6 eyes, so 2, 2, 2. They're kind of a glowing yellow. Green viscous liquid is kind of dripping out of its mouth. And as you hit it, some of that kind of sprays back. It's got and one extra set of arms, so regular like humanoid arms, and then one other set that kind of comes around the top. And it has some ragged old clothing like a loincloth almost on it. At this point, it's all the way out, and as you slap it, it's now kind of stumbled right in front of Sir Dyfree. Anything else you're doing on your turn, Ponto?
No.
Okay, Sir Dyfree, what would you like to do?
Are we sure this... All right, so this thing has tried to attack us, right?
It did attack you.
All right. And Ponto just put it right by my feet, correct?
It was coming out, and he twang hit it with his loot, and now it's right in front of you, like just right there. So it's you, and then the creature, and then the door.
All right, I'm going to draw my long sword, grip it with 2 hands, and just do one big slash right across the kind of full body of it.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit with your greatsword, or your longsword.
I got a 12 to hit.
Okay. Even after getting hit in the face with the loot, it kind of scutters to the side right as your sword is coming down, and you do barely miss it. Clank! It hits the stone floor, kind of a thick cobblestone, the same kind of reddish stone that's made of everything else, but this is like almost stamped on the ground, cobblestones everywhere. You narrowly miss him as he scuttles over. Would you like to do anything else on your turn? You can still move and speak.
I am going... Nope. No, actually, I would like to end my turn there.
Okay. It is now the Chiteen's turn. So the one who you just hit is going to attempt to attack you, Sir Dyfree. It scuttles over, and then as it's scuttling with its top arms and its legs, the 2 arms behind it pull out a dagger in each. And it goes to try and make 2 quick swipes at you with its dagger. So the first one is a 12 to hit, and the second one is a 19 to hit. Do either of those connect?
The 19 does connect.
Okay, so the first one, twink, bounces off your armor, but the second one, it's able to slash right on your skin, doing... Let's see. 3 piercing damage as it stabs you right in the arm. As it does that, a second set of arms peers out from the door as one more chitin makes its way up, this time actually walking on the wall, and gets up on the ceiling and starts making its way past you, Sir Dyfree, back to the back of the group. It drops down behind whoever's in the back. So you 2 are in the front, and then Zeno and Aenwyn, where are you as far as this goes?
I would probably be following up the group, I would think.
Okay. It drops basically right behind you, Zeno. And it goes to make one attack with a dagger at your back with a 23 to hit. Does that connect?
Yes, that is
okay.
So good.
Just making sure. Okay, and that is 5 piercing damage. And it lets out like kind of a as well. And that's the end of their turn. That being said, Xeno, it is now your turn. So this creature just went across the ceiling, dropped down behind you, and just stabbed you right in the back. Your friends are in front of you. This thing's behind you. What would you like to do?
I will turn around frantically, and I will cast Ray of Frost. So I make spell attack. Uh, 16 to hit.
16 hits. So a cold blast of icy wind shoots out from your hand.
For 8 points of cold damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Okay, it is very chilly, and it is extra slow now. 8 points is quite a bit for this creature. You can see some of the skin kind of starting to peel away and fur blowing off from this cold Arctic wind that you just blasted it with. It's taking quite a bit of damage, but it's definitely still alive. Anything else you'd like to do?
That is it for me.
Okay. And Anwin, you are now in the center of the group. You've got 2 people in front of you, 1 behind you, and on either end are these nasty spider creatures. What would you like to do?
So I watched the one go up over the ceiling, because that's terrifying. I'd like to shoot that one, so the one next to Z.
Okay, so you'll need to kind of sidestep a bit, which is fine. There's enough room to get around him.
With my longbow, so that's 16, 24 to hit.
24 definitely hits.
And then 1d8 plus 3 for 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, the arrow sticks right in one of its arms and actually goes through. So there's an arrowhead sticking out here, and then most of the arrow here. And it was one of the arms that it was actually using a dagger with. That arm goes limp, but one of the other arms reaches down and grabs that dagger. So now it's got a dagger here and a dagger here. But this arm is disabled. And it's in pretty rough shape.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Well, back to the top of the round. Ponto, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna run over to the one that's with Aowen just hurt, and I'm gonna smack him again with my loot.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit with dexterity as your modifier, so just a d20 plus your dex modifier.
18.
18 hits. Clang! Roll 1d4 bludgeoning damage.
That is 2.
2. Okay. You do 2 damage to it as you clank it right on the head. You just kind of like stop that, and it kind of it's looking pretty dazed. It is not in good shape. This one has way less health than the one in the front at this point. Anything else, Ponto, you'd like to do?
No. Not yet.
Okay. All right, Dyfree. Sir Dyfree, your turn.
All right. Well, first off, I'm kind of annoyed as this one has just kind of like, what did it do? Stab me in the arm with a dagger?
Yeah, it tried to stab the first one and it hit your arm, or the second one stabbed you in the arm, and then you were like, ha ha ha, and hit the ground next to it and didn't damage it.
All right. I'm going to try to do the exact same thing. Ha ha ha! And try to hit him again.
Okay, roll to hit.
1. That is a 21 to hit.
21 definitely hits.
All right. May I also add Divine Smite to said roll?
You sure
once I roll
can.
for damage?
Are you doing one-handed or two-handed right now?
I've already two-handed. Already done
Okay, so
two-handed.
it's 1d10 plus 3 plus your Divine Smite.
All right. I have 1d8. No, you're right. 1d10.
1d8 is one-handed, 1d10 is two-handed.
All right, so 5 damage just normally, and then Divine Smite allows me to roll a, what was it, d8? What was the Divine Smite? 1d8, right?
Yes.
No, 2d8s. If I'm not mistaken.
It could very well be 2d8s. I'm trying to pull it up.
I have 2d8s of extra radiant damage.
Yep, that's right. So 5 plus
7, 1. So 5 plus 8.
So 13.
13 damage.
Okay. It had exactly 13 health left. So you bring your sword down the second time out of rage, and you slice, kind of, you feel it connecting and passing through bones and cartilage and other weird stuff. And as your sword gets halfway down, it begins to kind of glow with this divine energy. And you see that the glowing yellow eyes begin to glow brighter and brighter and brighter. Your sword finishes all the way through, slashing down at the bottom with its clawed, nasty gray feet, and the spider creature has been cleaved in two and just kind of falls into a fluffy pile on the ground. Jitters for a second, and then all of the legs curl up like this. So that one's dead. Well done, Sir Dyfree. Okay. It is now the remaining chitin's turn. And it is, after being smashed and bashed and shot with an arrow, it is going to take an action to disengage and get down on all 6 legs and just start backing away. And it backs itself up the wall, and it's trying to just kind of back around the corner. It doesn't get quite out of sight, but it's just trying to get away. And that's what it does. It spends its entire turn doing that. So it's up kind of right in the corner of the ceiling and the wall, right at the corner from where you guys came from. That's where it ends its turn. Zeno, you are up. What would you like to do?
So I still have line of sight.
Yep.
All right, so I will do like a windmill kick, because my martial arts kind of background is firebolt at the creature. So, oh man, that's a 7.
Okay, so you look awesome. You do this awesome windmill kick, and a bolt of fire shoots out of your foot as you're going. You land, kind of do a sweet pose, and you realize that the firebolt just like went off to the side and on the stone wall on the other end of the chamber, and didn't even really get that close to it. But it looked so cool.
I will then probably I'll move up like 15 feet.
Okay. So at this point, you'll be basically right next to it. You're within melee range of it. You're kind of staring face to face if you get that close. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Aenwyn, so you see this incredible acrobatic skill of fire bending, kind of, and but the creature remains. What would you like to do? I think you're muted, Aenwyn.
I am. Yep. Thank you.
There we go.
I'll step over so that I have a better view of it, and I'll try and shoot the creature.
Okay, just a regular shot with your arrow?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll the hit.
16 plus 7 is going to be, I can math, 23.
You guys are rolling super well, except for Dyfree on that first hit. You definitely hit it. So the arrow flies through the air, sticks right in it. Go ahead and roll for damage.
So 8 damage.
Okay, it had 4 left. So it's kind of perched up right in this corner, and it was backing away. Why don't you tell us what happens as that arrow flies through the air?
So the arrow flies through the air, and I yell, "Watch out, Z!" as the arrow hits it, and the body kind of shrinks up against the ceiling as it's hit by the arrow, and then drops straight to the ground. Z seems pretty fast. I bet he could back up fast enough to not get hit by this falling corpse.
Z, why don't you make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can get out of the way of this fluffy, gross monstrosity that's falling right on top of you.
5.
5. No way. Yeah, it just lands on you. There's limbs on the front and the back, and like it's oozing. It's gross.
Sorry.
So you kind of shrug it off and throw it on the ground. At this point, you guys look around, and there's no other immediate danger that you can sense.
I look over to Diaphragm and say, "Could you do that detect spell again?
The what spell?
The spell you used before to tell us that you sensed evil."
You mean divine sense? It's not just a spell. But yes, I'll do it. I cast divine sense.
You sense more evil.
Hey, Ponto.
Yes.
Want to know what I sensed?
I would love nothing more.
More evil. So I'm just going to walk by him into the next room that these creatures came from.
Okay, so the one that you were opening?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make for me an investigation check to see what you can find in this room.
Ooh, I got a 15.
Okay. So this is basically kind of a supply closet. So you see there's some parchment. There's one empty potion bottle. There's some different jars with powders and like plant roots and different things like that. Nothing that immediately gains your attention as being super useful. Those are the things that you find in there. Besides that, there's like a broom and some other stuff.
I'm insulted. To think that you would think that I would go and lick something that we just found. How dare you?
Do I have any money on me, DM?
Probably.
All right, can I flip my good man Ponto here a gold coin and ask him to eat something?
Yeah, I think you have. You have 25 gold on you. So you want to fling one over to him and tell him to lick something?
Yeah, I'm going to fling one over to him and be, Ponto, my good man. You see that? You said there's a jar of powder.
Can you not read?
Hey, it's up to him. It's free money. I mean, I wouldn't, but Ponto seems of the curious sort, and if he's going to do it anyways, he might as well make a buck doing it.
Already over by the powder to lick it.
Sorry, you. What are you doing?
Already
He's
over
licking
by
the jar of powder, like in
Jar of
the
powder.
jar.
That's how
Okay.
many- But the outside of the jar, not the inside.
Okay, so you're licking the outside of the jar.
Yeah.
It tastes like old glass. You don't notice anything unusual besides, that you're licking this thing, but nothing magical happens. Nothing tastes super unordinary.
Okay, I look back at Diaphragm and say, "Oh, it seems safe." And I toss it to him. The jar,
You throw the jar of powder chemical at Sir Dyfree.
saying that it seems safe.
Okay, Sir Dyfree, go ahead and make for me a dexterity saving throw. Not a dexterity check, but a saving throw.
To catch it?
To try and catch it or move out of the way or whatever you're trying to do.
A dexterity saving throw.
Yep, because you're reacting to something that happened externally to you.
Do I have to say it?
I got a
You do.
4.
A 4?
4.
Okay, so as you're kind of giggling about him licking the thing, and you see Aenwyn with her sign that says no licking, and you don't pay attention as a glass jar smashes you in the side of the face. You don't take any damage from it. It's like the kind of the candy glass they use in movies or whatever. But there is now a mysterious powder all over the side of your face. Why don't you go ahead and let's see. Okay, you got lucky. No damage, but you're covered in like a sticky powder now.
Can I attempt to wash it off with my water skin? With some of the water I have?
Yeah. That's like a canteen, so you're just gonna like squirt water on your face?
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of go like that and try to get a face.
Okay, so while you're washing off your face, what are the other two of you doing?
I'll make my way into the the closet as well and look around.
And I'm just looking at Aenwyn, kind of like smiling. Like, yeah.
I'm just angry. We had rules.
Gold coin is a gold coin.
You are a strange bunch.
Yes,
That's
I guess you could call us that as I finish washing my face off.
I think
Shall we try the long hallway this time?
yeah, I think so. I take my lute and I start to strum another tune. And I hear, sing us a song, you're the ocean man. Come on, tell us where you are. For some knowledge. And you got us killing chitons.
Could have said licking your jar. That would have rhymed too.
Ooh, good point. Okay, were you with that song? Are you doing bardic inspiration, or are you just singing to sing? Are you trying to? Okay, you're not going to give anybody bonus points with that song.
No.
Okay, cool, good bard. Okay, great. So you make your way down the hall. It turns to the right. There's about 10 feet before you see a stone door that is currently closed in front of you. What would you all like to do?
Well, I feel like there's only one thing to do here. Let's open the door. I'm just going to walk in front and grab it and try to yank it open.
Okay, make an athletics check, because it is a pretty heavy stone door.
Athletics check. Ooh, that's a nat 20 plus 5. That is a 25, my friend.
Boom! You slam the door open, and the door slams open with a thud on the wall. And as it does, you look and see that on the backside of the door was another chitin creature that was stuck on there that looked super surprised to all of a sudden be in a different spot. It doesn't attack you because it was so surprised. But those of you who are in range of the door, you can see that there's a large kind of circular chamber that this door opened into. You see several creatures in there. You see something large in the center, a large stone round object, and you see quite a bit of movement in the chamber. At this point, why don't you guys all go ahead and roll initiative for me again. Did anybody get over a 20? Over 15? Diefrey, what'd you get?
I got a 19. It is Diefrey's turn to shine, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Anybody above a 10?
I got a 15.
Okay.
I got a
Ponto?
14.
And Zeno?
11.
11. Okay. Well, first to act is actually the enemies, who rolled a 21. So the one that was on the door is kind of stunned. It's going to spend its whole turn trying to figure out what's going on. But you do, let's see, so Diefrey, you're in front, I'm assuming, as is typical. Are you still in the back, Zeno?
Yeah.
Okay, same order as before, basically. Okay. So Diefrey and Ponto. In the front, you can see in the chamber, it's a large stone chamber, very circular, looks very intentionally created, with a domed ceiling. In the center, you do see this big stone round object. Looks like it's probably some sort of cauldron. There's about 80 feet from the door you just opened to the back end of the chamber. with a large ornate carving on the stone wall there. You do see a strange humanoid figure kind of in the back. You see 2 more of the chitin creatures, one on the far left and one on the far right. And then there's also the one that was on the door when it opened. The first, so the one that's on the door stayed there. The one that was on the far left, it's kind of a darker brown. Pops up, pulls out 2 daggers, and begins scuttling towards the door. It is able to get it's able to get right to the door and make 1 dagger attack against Sir Dyfree. So it tries to stab you with a 5. That's not going to be good. Okay, so in its scuttling, it just entirely misses, and now it's kind of right in front of you. It looks up at you. The one that was on the far right is kind of a dark blue fur. Blue. You see it scuttle up the wall and start to make its way onto the curved ceiling up above you.
Above me?
Just the ceiling that's above the floor, the ceiling. Yeah. So it's kind of going up on the dome ceiling there. And then it's hard to tell exactly what creature is in the back. You see it's a humanoid shape, but it seems a little blurry. It's hard to tell exactly what you're looking at. It's about 65 feet away from you, but you do see it move pretty quickly, darting over to the left side from where you guys are looking. And then Sir Dyfree, because you're in front and you're the only one they can see. Let's see, 10 plus 6. Does a 16 hit? Okay. You see, as this creature, as this humanoid creature moves, a kind of a dark, smoky, ethereal hand all of a sudden just flying through the air towards you. You're able to sidestep it as it goes right past your head. But there was some dark, scary kind of magic that was coming from that creature in the back that did just barely miss you. Okay, and that is their turn. It is now Sir Dyfree's turn. Sorry, I just hit my mic if that was super loud, everybody. Sir Dyfree, you are up. So the one scuttled up to you and stabbed you. You had the dark hand fly by your head. One of them went up on the ceiling, and the other one is stuck on the door right next to you. So there's one right here, and there's one right in front of you. What would you like to do?
Are they both within 5 feet of me? And if they're both within my longsword range, can I slash them, like do one slash that hits both of them? Or do I have to direct towards one?
With one action, you can attack one creature.
Got
if
it.
you had extra attack or multi-attack, you could do a second one.
All right. Which one's closer, the one right in front of me or the one on the door?
There, it's 6s. I mean, it's like right here next to your face, and then there's one right on the ground right in front of you.
All right. Can I attempt to intimidate the one right in front of me by punching the one on the door that's still surprised?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
All right. So I would like to do an unarmed strike against the one on the door.
Okay. So go ahead and roll to hit and add your strength modifier. So just a d20 plus your strength bonus. Unless do you have specifics for unarmed strike on your character?
I do.
Okay.
So I got a 20 to hit with my unarmed.
Okay. Yeah, you punch it right in its 6 eyes. Go ahead and roll for damage with that.
For my character, it's automatically 4, regardless.
Okay. Awesome. So you punch it right in the face, and as a result, the one next to it is actually go ahead and make an intimidation check. It's not typical that this would happen, but because the door slammed open so fast and you were able to punch it with a 22, it is pretty intimidating.
And then my intimidation is a 19.
Yeah, okay, it's very intimidated, so it's not going to attack you. It's pretty scared of you at this point. Also, it stabbed you and nothing happened, and then you just like punched the face in of its best friend. So yeah. Okay. Anything else on your turn, Die Free? Or are you done?
I'm going to turn to Ponto after doing all this and seeing like dodging the hand that went by my head and just look at him as, hey Ponto, guess what? More evil. And that will be the end of my turn.
Awesome. Aenwyn, you're up, and Ponto, you're on deck.
All right. I'm going to knock another arrow. I'm going to aim for the chitin on the ceiling because I'm good with things on the ceiling, and attempt to shoot the one on the ceiling with a 19.
19 hits. It's about probably 45 feet away up at that angle. So 19 definitely hits.
Okay, and 9 damage.
Okay. That is a very much damage for this creature.
And then I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Okay, so you back up. Are you in the backing into the hallway? Or are you in the chamber at this point still?
I don't want to be in the because these creatures are in the chamber still, right?
Except for the one on the door that's open, that's on the wall right here. So
I want to stay in the hallway and shoot into the chamber. I'm backing up because I want to make sure if Xeno wants to get around me to get into this melee, that he has room to do so.
So to get that angle, you basically had to kind of kneel down and shoot up, and then back up to stay out of the range of that other creature. Perfect. Okay, so you back up a few more feet, so you're out of its range, and that's awesome. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Okay. Ponto Puddlefoot, you are up, and Xeno, you're on deck.
Having Die Free tell me this snarky comment, I start to grin and walk towards the door, and I'm still singing. I have my lute. I'm still singing. Sing us a song, or tell us where you are, Mr. Potion Man. And I get to a point where I can hit the most of these creatures as possible. I turn around and I look at Die Free. And without missing a beat, I get to the chorus of my song and I go, well, it's the same thing. Sing us a song! Or, and I cast Thunder Wave at 2nd level.
Okay, what's the range on that?
15 feet in a square emanating from me.
Okay, so with 15 feet, if you want to get, you can get the 2 that are right there at the door. Besides that, there's the one on the ceiling kind of in the center. If you went all the way to the middle of the room, you could get that one. Or if you try to get all the way to the back of the room, you can get the humanoid, but that's going to take more than your movement. So you can get these 2 at the door, or go in and hit the one straight up.
I get the 2 at the door.
Okay.
I'll be inside the chamber to a point where, like, I'm essentially underneath the guy on the ceiling, but, like, not within range.
So the chamber's 80 feet across. It's about 40 feet to the middle of the chamber.
Okay, cool. I'll be in the chamber within range of the other 2.
Okay. It will be Chitin, Die Free, Chitin, because he's in the doorway still. There's one on this side, and there's one in front of him. So he will also be affected by it.
Yes, he will.
Okay, great. Awesome. So they make is that a dexterity save? Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
Okay, so the one on the door rolls really well, an 18.
Okay.
And the one on the ground in front of Die Free rolls a 7.
Okay.
And Die Free?
Is there a limit to what that affects for the Constitution roll? Like, if someone has high enough Constitution, it wouldn't affect them?
If you roll high enough on your Constitution saving throw, it will affect you less. But you need to roll Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
There's a blast of sound energy that comes out and affects everything.
I got a 1. +2, though. I have 2 +2 Constitution, so that is a 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Die Free!
18 is what I rolled.
So
my-
18. Okay, so 18 damage to those who failed, right? Okay.
And then 9 to the one that passed.
Sir Difer, you take 18 damage, and he's knocked off his feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So a blast of sound knocks you off your feet, and the sonic vibrations do 18 damage to your head. The one that was on the ground in front of him that did not save is blown to smithereens. It just withers away with the sound and plasters hair and guts and limbs on the wall next to it. The one that was on the door did save. How much does that take?
9.
9?
Yeah. And he is not pushed 10 feet.
Okay. The one on the door has 1 HP left. The one on the ground is all the way dead. And the one on the ceiling is in rough shape.
And there is a thunderous boom audible up to 300 feet.
Yes, and because you're all in this big round circular chamber, it just whoop, 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 reverberates for the next like 15 to 20 seconds. The rest of this battle, probably, you're just hearing that ding, bang, the entire time. Some rubble and dust falls from the ceiling as it's so loud. Okay, great turn. Anything else, Ponto?
Bonus action, I'm going to wink at Diefree and send him some bardic inspiration.
You can do a bardic inspiration as a bonus action?
Yeah, it's done as a bonus action.
Okay. With your magical wink, you send him, what is it, 1d6?
Yeah, 1d6.
Okay, so Diefree, the next time you roll a d20 for anything, you can add a d6 to that roll because he winked at you so nicely.
That's if I don't die first.
That is if you don't die first. All right, good turn, Ponto. Z, you're up. What are you doing?
Okay, so there's one on the ceiling in the middle of the room. There's the humanoid in the back. Are there any other ones?
There's the one on the wall that is just about dead.
Okay. I will once again do Firebolt. So I'll do my fancy kick. Fire will launch from my feet. And
Towards what? What's your target?
The one next to the one that's almost dead on the wall.
Okay.
That will be 14 to hit.
14 to hit. Yeah. If you do any more than 1 damage, it is entirely toast.
6.
Yup. So this time, doing the same move as before that that you've practiced during Blur Ball, you do a windmill kick. The fire flies true, strikes right in the middle of him, and the chamber that you're all still in is just filled with the smell of burning spider hair, as it just kind of like goes all over its skin, and it falls into a clump on the floor, wriggles for a second as it's just smoking and smoldering on the floor. It looked super awesome, and it smells super bad. Okay.
I'll move up, I guess, to the doorway. If I'm not
Okay.
already-
So you're gonna move into the chamber a few feet?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you step into the chamber and basically where the spot where the one that got blown to smithereens was. So now you're basically right next to Ponto. So you and Ponto are in the chamber, Diefree still in the doorway, and then back in the hallway is Aenwyn. It is now the enemy's turn. The chitin on the ceiling that got hit by the arrow starts to make its way back towards the humanoid creature. It gets basically all the way down to the back wall and is just kind of perched up on the wall. It spends its whole turn moving across the ceiling to get on the back wall. So it's now on the very back. Looking into the chamber, it is now basically straight in front of you, about 6 feet off the floor. And then 15 feet to its left, along the wall there, is that weird humanoid. And those of you that are in the chamber now get a better sight on it. So that's Diefree and Zeno. Actually, both of you go ahead Yeah.
I
sorry,
think
not die free. Ponto.
Ponto.
Yeah. I looked at you and I said the wrong name. Both of you roll perception for me.
14.
16.
Okay. You both see. It's weird. It feels like the edges of this creature are moving separately than it is. With a 16, you see, so it looks like a human female form, a little bit taller than a regular human would be, and a little bit wider. So like maybe like 1.25 times the regular dimensions of a human. But you see kind of a swirling mass of glowing lights and darkness and stars. It's almost like you're looking out into some sort of galaxy or into outer space. As the creature is moving, that star field is kind of staying in place. So it's like parallaxing as you're looking at it. Like those things aren't moving with it. And then about half of the mass of what would be skin on the outside of it is covered with kind of a dark green wooden fibers that are like making up like a part of the arm and off the side of the face. And it's all kind of just floating. So it's just this mass of floating green wood suspended, floating around this kind of weird starry field around this creature. This is what that looks like, to those of you who can see it.
That's awesome.
It's dope.
So, none of you have ever seen something like this before. And anyways, that creature continues to move its way around. Actually, it was heading left, and it goes back towards the back center of the room where that one spider creature had come back down. Let's see who it is going to target. Ooh, okay. Ponto and Zeno, both of you see another spectral black hand flying through the air towards each of you. Zeno, let's see, that is a 7 plus 6, a 13 to hit. Does that hit?
That hits.
Okay, and Ponto, that's a 9 plus 6, 15. Does that hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so both of you take 9 necrotic damage as this spectral hand just reaches out and grabs the inside of your body. The fingers pierce inside and just squeeze, and you can feel this cold, dark, sickening feeling inside each of you. Also, you cannot take any healing until the end of your next turn. So you take that 9 damage now, and you can't be healed until after your next turn. And that is the enemy's turn. Sir Dyfree, you're up, and when you're on deck. What would you like to do?
That is an excellent question. So they cannot receive any healing from me until the end of their next turn, correct?
You don't know that, but yes.
All right. And then I am not allowed. So if I have an ability that is dependent on how much health my comrades have in order for me to be able to use it, can I ask for that information, or do I have to try to use it and hopefully it works? Does that make sense?
It says, yeah, you can basically judge about if they're at halfway or below or whatever just by looking at them.
All right.
What does the ability say?
No. It's my turn the tide, but it wouldn't work anyways because they can't receive healing. But it says it only works if my comrades are if everyone's below half health, basically. Okay. So I'm still like laying down because Ponto hit me with the thunderclap, correct? And took away like 3/4 of my health.
Correct. Yep. You will have to spend half of your movement just getting up.
All right. Is there any
ringing?
Is there any creatures within range of attacking me?
The only two remaining creatures you're aware of is the spider creature on the back wall and the humanoid that moved over near it that shot out the two spectral hands.
Got it. And one of my
Nothing
actions would be getting up.
So whatever your movement speed is, half of that is gone by just standing up. So you still have half of your movement left. Probably 15 feet.
I'm going to get up and use what is this called? I'm going to use my lay on hands pool. It's a healing pool I can use within. Basically, if I touch anyone, I can use it. I'm going to use that on myself and use all of it.
All 10 or 15?
All 15.
15. Okay, great. So you feel the divine energy. What is your deity again?
Belina, goddess of the sun.
Okay. So you feel your connection from her. You feel divine energy kind of circulating through you, and you see. Actually, no, because it was all sonic damage. So your ears stop ringing, and the immense headache that was starting to like reverberate through your head and clog your vision goes away. You had to get divine intervention to get rid of the damage done by your friend. Awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And then for the rest of my movement, I'm just going to make my way into the chamber and get as close to Ponto and Zeno as I can, kind of in between them. I know I only have 15 feet, so however close I can get.
So they're about 10 feet in, so you can get right up next to them. The big cauldron in the center of the room is about 25 feet from the door if you wanted to get closer to that. Or if you want to get right by them, that's about 10 feet.
I want to get by them.
Okay, so the three of you are all kind of clustered together. Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Also, the three of you that are standing there, you do also see on the wall where the splatter was from the spider creature that you exploded. There's also like a spigot that's coming out of the wall. A spout with a knob on the top of it. Seems odd that that's coming out of a stone wall. Very interesting. Okay. Aenwyn, it's your turn, and Ponto, you're on deck.
I'd like to try and finish off the one that's on the ceiling. It's still hanging on there, right?
Yeah, so it crawled,
backwards.
It's on the far wall.
So I'll move forward to the doorway so that I can get a clear shot at it and try and hit it from the doorway.
Okay. It's about 80 feet from end to end. What's your range on your bow?
Oh, that's not a problem. The range on the bow is 150.
Yeah, you're good.
To 600. Well, I would be good, but I rolled a 10, so...
Oh, okay. So you do shoot at it and miss. So the arrow bounces off the stone wall, and the creature kind of looks at it and instinctively moves a little bit as it doesn't hit.
Yeah, just back up.
Okay.
Like duck behind the door.
So you're going back into the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Ponto, as the sound of your last turn continues to reverberate around you, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna throw my loot off to the side and pull out my crossbow. And I'm gonna take a bolt, slam it in, and I'm gonna mouth like I'm saying something to this creature that put their galaxy hands into me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna mouth like I'm saying something, but because it's so loud, they're gonna think that at least I am trying to make them think that I'm saying something. They just can't hear me. And then I'm gonna shoot them with my crossbow.
Okay, so you're effectively making it a crossbow attack?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. You're about, let's see, you're about 45 feet away. Is that in range for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and roll the hit.
Does a 16 hit? Oh wait, yeah, 16.
So with a 16, you do barely hit as the shifting outer kind of armory portion is floating around the exterior of the body. You do barely get right in between as two of them are overlapping and expose the starry innards Go ahead and roll for damage.
7.
Okay, great. It kind of sails in and disappears inside the void inside this creature. But you do see it kind of like instinctively it shrugs a little bit as it comes through because it did do some damage. Okay, great. Xeno, your turn, and then it's back to the top of the round for the enemies.
So I'm going to target the shadow tree figure.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast magic missile at 2nd level. So I'll that's 4.
And it automatically hits.
Right. So it's 1d4 plus 1 for each.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for all of them separately.
I have 1, 3, 2, and 3. So 5, 4, 9 plus 4 is 13.
Okay, that's quite a bit. Yeah, so the magic missiles, all 4 of them kind of fly through the air and doom, 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 doom. All 4 of them hit. You knock a couple of the pieces of floating armor off. One of them sails into the inside. You definitely did quite a bit of damage. You see kind of a sparkling, crackling residue after it hits.
Is there any place to take cover?
There's the big cauldron in the center of the room. As you're looking around, you saw that one spigot on the wall. You actually see a few more around the walls as well, but there's no other pillars or anything like that.
How far is the cauldron?
It's right in the center of the room, so if you haven't used your movement yet, you can definitely get right up next to it.
I'll get up next to the cauldron and I'll crouch down.
Okay, great. As you do, you notice as you're crouching down and you're kind of looking at it, the inside of the stone cauldron seems like it's stained, like it's been used and used and used, and there's kind of a purple color to it. You notice that as you're coming down.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Top of the round, it is the enemy's turn. So, the starry creature kind of floatingly moves back over towards the wall behind it. It reaches out with its hand and touches the spider creature. You see the spider creature shudder and turn stony black and fall down to the ground, entirely dead. Then you see the starry creature, the lampad. You see it start to gyrate a little bit. The armory pieces on the outside start to move, and all of a sudden the whole thing turns into a mist and sucks itself down into the dead spider creature. Aenwyn, in the hall where you are, you see this happen across the end of the room, and then instantly, as soon as it happens, you hear the same sound, and look to your left as the starry humanoid creature has transported itself through the dead bodies and is now reforming itself right in front of you. And that's the end of its turn. It is now within melee range of you, and you get a very good close-up look at this strange creature that is now in front of you. Dyfrey, you saw the creature kill the spider and disappear. You heard a sound behind you, but in the room now, there's the cauldron in the middle, there's Xeno next to the cauldron, but there's no other movement in the room around you. What are you doing?
All right, I am actually going to cast. I just want to make sure I cast the correct one. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm actually going to. Can I attempt to find where the noise came from behind me? Can I look around?
Yeah, you can hear that it happened behind you. and you know that behind you is the hallway, but you
All
didn't. From where you are, you couldn't see because there was enough stuff happening that you didn't see it pop out in front of Anwin, but it is there.
All right. So I can't go attack it, is what you're saying.
If you move to be able to see through the hallway, you could make an attack at it. So Anwin is right here, and then it's right in front, and then there's basically the doorway, and then you're kind of off to the side. So if you come back centered, you'll be able to see all of that.
All right, I do want to do that. I want to run back towards the doorway where the noise came from.
Okay. If you use your full movement, you'll be able to get right to the doorway. You'll still be about 10 feet away from where the creature is and from where Anwin is.
All right, how far away would I be from Ponto and Jay?
You would be running past Ponto, and then Jay would be behind you in the center of the room at the cauldron.
So how many feet?
You'd be about 25 feet from Jay, Zeno, and Ponto would be about 10 feet off to your 45 this way.
Awesome. Yep, I am going to do that, and then I am going to attempt to throw a dagger at the reforming creature.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit with a dagger throw.
Also, remember you have inspiration.
You do get an extra d6.
All right, I got a 7 with my dagger throw. And
7 will definitely not hit.
I'm not going to use my d6 because even if I could get a good roll with that, I doubt I would hit it. So I guess I just miss.
Yeah, so you kind of run over and you see it reforming, and you just whip out a dagger, and it flies into the hallway, but it doesn't seem like it grabs any purchase on anything. You hear it clang, 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 down the hallway past where you were trying to hit.
Got it. And then as a bonus action, I would like to cast Shield of Faith. And I want to cast it on Zeno.
Okay. And what does that do again?
So he gets +2 bonus for his AC. And then it lasts 10 minutes.
Great.
So he has +2 more armor.
Okay. Awesome. Great turn. So Anwin, you see this figure apparate in front of you and reforming. A dagger flies by your head, and then you see Sir Dyfrey turn around and cast a shield on the guy in the center of the room where nothing's happening. What are you doing?
I guess I'm risking an attack of opportunity because I'm gonna backpedal out of melee range, knock an arrow, and attempt to shoot this thing that suddenly appeared in front of me.
Okay, as you do it, it is going to reach out and try and just do a necrotic touch attack against you.
Mm-hmm.
With a TPK. That's a natural 20 plus 6.
Ooh.
So, thank you, Paladin role-playing for that natural 20. That is really too bad. Okay, so that's going to be... Oh, you are lucky. That's only 13 necrotic damage.
Oh, cool.
It rolled really poorly, which is too bad for it.
Yes. What a shame.
Because that was 2d10 plus 4.
Yes.
It got a 9 on its 2d10.
I would have been fine. I've got 25 HP. 2d10 plus 4 can't kill me in one hit.
Okay, so as you're backpedaling, it reaches out and kind of just scratches along your skin, and you feel this kind of cold burning from the spot of the wound starting to spread around as this sickly darkness starts filling your body. But you are able to continue to move back. You can make any attack you want with your arrows, magic arrows, whatever you want to do.
Yes, I will do a, I'll try a grasping arrow.
Okay.
I hope I hit.
Okay.
Oh no. Nope. That's no good. It's an
Roll
11.
a die for your roll.
I did.
Ooh. Okay. Yep. So the arrow flies out, and there's kind of the vines that are wrapped around that would normally hit the impact the creature and wrap around, but something's weird with the air around this creature, and it grabs the vines and kind of like it's kind of a vortex effect as it flies off and does not actually contact it.
Okay.
And that's
As a
your
bonus
turn.
action, I would like to use Second Wind.
Okay, so go ahead and regain some health.
1d10 plus 3.
Do you have action surge at your level?
I
by the way?
do. Yeah.
Okay, so if you wanted, you can also take a second action. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing so great because I just rolled a 1 on that d10, so I think I'm going to hold off on rolling any more dice for right now.
Ooh, Aenwyn's having a rough night. Okay. Awesome. Well, there's that. Okay, so Ponto, you're up, and Zeno, you're on deck. So you saw Sir Dyfrey run past you and throw a dagger into the hallway. The creature disappeared as far as you saw. Zeno's next to the cauldron. There's faucets on the wall. What are you doing?
I'm gonna run as close as I can to the creature, and I'm gonna take my crossbow and I'm gonna attempt to shoot him.
Okay, so you're gonna run basically into the doorway and just shoot in the back of the creature?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dyfrey will be basically next to you, and then it's the creature, and then it's Aenwyn behind.
Yeah, I want to put it directly in the back of his head and be like,
like get into melee range?
No. I guess not directly to the back of his head, but pretty close.
Okay, close enough that you're not at disadvantage, because if you're within 5 feet, it's disadvantage. Okay, so you're about 10 feet off. As close as you can get.
Does a 19 hit?
19 does hit.
Cool. That'll be 4 points of damage.
You guys are awesome.
And then, as a bonus action, I'm gonna look over at Aenwyn, say, we're gonna, and what? We're gonna send a bardic inspiration her way.
Okay. Aenwyn, you've been inspired. You have an extra d6 next time you roll a 20.
Thank you. I'll need it.
Okay. Zeno, you are up, and then it's the top of the round again.
All right. I'm going to use my last second level slot to magic missile again.
Okay. And are you doing more kung fu moves to shoot out the missiles?
Oh yeah, like I have magical shurikens and
Beautiful. Go ahead and roll for damage on those.
That's gonna be 13 points of damage.
Okay. At this point, it's actually taking quite a bit of damage, but it is not down. The floating shell portions are starting to fall off and break and shatter. Some of the kind of the gassy interior is starting to leak out as the lights and the stars are starting to dim on the inside. But it is continuing to move around. You still have your movement left. You're next to the cauldron, or you want to do anything?
I don't think so. I'm
okay. All right. Top of the round, it is the creature's turn again. Having taken this damage, let's see. It turns around after the magic missiles hit it in the back, and it sees Ponto directly in front of it. It reaches out with both hands as it just kind of floats towards Ponto and just tries to grab it with both of its hands. So both of these are a necrotic touch attack. That's an 11 to hit and an 18 to hit.
18 hits, 11 does.
Okay, with the 18, that's 1d10 plus 4 necrotic damage. That's 9 necrotic damage.
I am down.
Okay. Ponto falls unconscious as the dark energy from that one grab overwhelms him, and your sight goes dark as you fall down unconscious on the ground. And that's the... Actually, no. And then it floats kind of right over you and past you, right up towards Sir Dyfree, where it finishes its turn just kind of floating and staring at you, almost through you. Sir Dyfree, it is your turn now, and Anwin, you're on deck.
Quick clarification: does down mean dead, or does that mean he has 0 health points, or below a certain point?
He's unconscious. If he takes any healing, he will regain consciousness. But if he's not healed over the next several turns, he'll roll a d20 every turn. If he gets above a 10, it's 1 success. If he gets below a 10, that's 1 failure. 3 successes, he gets back up. 3 failures, he's dead forever.
I believe you get a failure if you take any damage while down, right?
Correct. If he gets attacked while he's down, that's 2 failures automatically.
All right, I am going to just run past the creature down to Ponto, and I am going to kneel down, like by his side, put my hand kind of like over his eyes, like on his head, and I am going to cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, first of all, does a 15 hit?
A 15 does not hit.
Okay, as you were running past, it reached out and just barely missed grabbing you as you ran past. So you're doing Cure Wounds for him?
Yes.
Okay, so you can go ahead and roll for healing number.
Ooh, I got the best I could get. That is 10 health points for you, my friend.
Okay, so you have regained consciousness. You're lying there. There's a dark burning around you, but you are alive, and you do have those 10 health points. Okay, good job, Dyfree.
That is all I believe I can do because, yep, that is all I can do.
And when it's your turn, and Ponto Puddlefoot, you're on deck.
Okay. I'm going to try this bow thing again. And shooting at the creature here in front of us. That's much better. That is a 22 to hit.
Yep, you only need a 15.
For 5 damage.
Okay. And was that a special arrow or just a regular shot?
No, I'm all out of special arrows.
Okay. Well, you do. It flies through the center and flies out the other side, shattering one of the pieces of armor. At this point, there's not a whole lot left to it, but it is still there. It is still moving. It still has this dark presence around it. Anything else you can still move on your turn, Anwin?
I guess I can action surge. I still have that left. Oh, nope. I action surged last time and we haven't rested since. Never mind.
You would have had a long rest since last session.
Oh.
Surprise.
I guess I do have an arrow left too.
Yeah.
Surprise indeed. All right, well, I will action surge then.
Okay.
And attempt another shot at it.
Okay.
That's 24 to hit. So
for sure hits.
My D8 go for 6 damage.
Okay. This thing is in very, very, very bad shape, but it is not dead.
And that's
There's
everything.
like two floating pieces of this dark green wooden armor floating around where there were like 20 or 30 to start with. It's mostly just this kind of starry form in the middle now. Sorry, is there anything else on your turn you want to do, Anwin?
Nope, I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. Ponto Puddlefoot, you are up, and Zeno, you're on deck.
How far away is it from me?
At this point, about 20, 25 feet.
25 feet. Okay. I'm going to get up. She'll take half my movement, right?
Oh, yes. Because you were... Wait a second, hold on.
He was down.
Yeah, okay, no, it's only about 10 feet away from you then.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to get up. I'm going to walk over to him and kind of haphazardly and raggedly, I'm going to take out my rapier and I'm going to attempt to put my hand on where I think its shoulder is, or like put my hand against it and put the rapier up through it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And by putting my hand on it, I mean putting my hand on something like, because you said there's like floating armor.
Yeah, like these pieces of dark green kind of wooden fibers that are just floating around the exterior. Yeah.
Okay. 15.
It has an armor class of 15, so you do hit barely. So you're able to time it right and grab one of the pieces and just stab right into the starry heart of the creature. It has 4 hit points left.
And I hit it with 8 plus 3, so 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, why don't you tell us what happens?
Exactly that. I am a little. You see that Ponto's kind of his facade's kind of dropped. He's tired, ragged, and he just simply lunges the rapier up through the bottom, like through the bottom of his back. Essentially, it goes up through like where his head would be, and he pulls the rapier down, and then kind of falls down.
Okay. As the rapier comes out, all of the swirling energy just starts to kind of collapse and in on itself, and then into like a miniature black hole as all the parts and pieces just suck in, and then there's just a puff of black energy as the entire thing is gone. And it is destroyed.
I'm gonna fall on my back, and I'm just gonna say, "Oh, it took a lot."
Okay, congratulations. You just destroyed a very strong, powerful creature that has the ability to walk through fallen corpses. Now, you are all in. You make your way into this chamber here. There are dead spiders and guts and stuff around. The starry, mystical creature has been destroyed. In this room, there is now, on the far wall, there's a kind of a mosaic almost carved into the stones. It looks kind of unique from the rest of the room. As you look around, there are 4 spigots around the edges of the room, and there's the large cauldron in the center of the room that is stained purple. What are we all doing?
What does the mosaic show?
Make a history check. At advantage, because it's your history.
Oh, thank God. Rolled a 1. Unnatural 20.
Okay, with 20 total, you can tell that it is, it's kind of like an ode or it's talking about the kind of the first high elves, the first Eladrin that settled this area and used their knowledge to create a civilization here. You recognize the different figures, moving things, and the different symbols mean like intelligence and knowledge and wisdom, and then generations of things being passed down. So this is it's not sacred per se, but it's very important and reminiscent of the history of your people.
Okay. I'll relay that to the group.
You do that. It has been relayed.
Everyone okay?
Just barely.
Good.
Good job, Sir Veteran.
Was that supposed to be sarcastic?
Yes.
Very good, Awen. Seems like you are just as normal as ever. Ponto, are you okay, my friend?
I just put a
Like you went down real quick.
I just put a thumbs up.
Any idea what these spigots are? Z?
Can I do an investigation check?
You sure can. What would you like to do?
I don't know, kind of identify anything coming out of these spigots without having to like turn them on or.
Okay. You get up close to one of them, and it's where the spout is stained slightly blue on the edge of the metal. Aenwyn reminds you not to lick it. If you'd like to turn it on and see what happens, you may do so, but without interacting with it physically, that's as much information as you're going to get.
I will gently turn it on.
Okay. As you do, a blue liquid begins to... Okay. A blue liquid begins to stream out of it and just starts running on the stone ground underneath, starting to fill all kind of the cracks and the crevices around.
I can tell you what the spigot isn't. It's not Marky Mark. Are there any other doors or anything here?
In this room, the only other interesting thing is the mosaic on the wall, and then the spigots, and then there's the cauldron in the center that is stained purple.
Okay. Any purple spigots?
Make an investigation check.
Three.
Okay. You take a long time to go and look at the other 3 spigots that haven't been turned on yet. None of them look purple. You do get a sense that they are all different, though. Are you turning any of them on?
No.
Okay. On one of them, you do see kind of a reddish hue right where the spout is. But you couldn't tell the other 2.
Well, if you've got blue and this one's reddish, I got an idea.
Can we move the cauldron in the middle? Can we pick it up, or is it a stone cauldron? Like, is it just there?
You go over to it and you can try to move it if you'd like.
I would like to go try and move it.
Okay, make an athletics check.
I better not break this thing if I get a good one. I got an unnatural 20.
Okay. You push on it as hard as you can, and it kind of leans to the side, but then it kind of just rights itself. It feels like it's probably magically held to the center of the room. But if anything could have done it, that would have been it. You would have been able to push that heavy of an object with that roll if it wasn't magically held there.
Got it. I think what Aenwyn said, maybe if there's a purple residue in this cauldron and there are no other doors that we can check, maybe by mixing certain potions, it might have some effect. Secret tunnel.
There's only one way to find out.
Now, the real question is, how do we get the stuff from the faucets to the stuff in the middle? Does anyone have a flask?
There were potion bottles in the other closet, right?
I think that's correct. Shall we go get those?
There was one empty potion bottle there and some other stuff.
Was there any other doors? There's no other doors in this place, right? This room, this is the only other room we've found.
That you found so far, this is the entirety of it.
All right. And there was no other places to go.
As far as you know?
All right. I think we should head back, grab the glass bottle, and then try filling the cauldron with the red and the blue liquids from the wall.
I agree.
All in favor of Z to do it? Say aye. Aye.
Sure.
The ayes have it. Z, would you go grab that for us?
All right. As I head back, I want to look for any other containers that may hold more than a potion vial.
When you get back there, the only other thing you see that would hold liquid is there's like a leftover soup bowl, like a wooden carved bowl that would be used for eating. That is there, and then also the potion bottle. But nothing else there that would hold liquid, unless you want to. There's some like rags and stuff. If you want to, soak those up with liquid and then wring them out, you could potentially do that.
I'll grab the bowl and the potion flask.
Okay.
While he's gone, I turn on the red spigot and the blue spigot and just let them pour on the floor.
Yeah, they're just pouring all over the floor. Red liquid and blue liquid just streaming down. But interestingly enough, though, after a little bit of time hitting the floor, it starts to kind of like turn into a blue and a red steam and dissipate. It's not pooling like regular water would. There's something magical or arcane about this liquid.
All right. Once Z is back, can I take the wooden soup bowl from him and then go get some of the red liquid as they get the blue liquid?
Okay. So you're getting red liquid in the bowl and blue liquid in the flask? Or the bottle?
Yes. Let's go with that.
Great.
Oh, I found these. We could try it.
Okay,
right.
so you bring back the bowl and the bottle, and Difer, you said you want to do a red and a blue, right?
Yep. And then we're going to... So I'm going to go over, take the wooden bowl from Z, get some of the red liquid in my little soup bowl, and pour it into the cauldron.
Okay. So you pour the red in.
Anyone gonna help me with this? Or are you guys just standing around?
I'll grab the blue.
Thank you.
There's another color, right?
There are 2 spigots you haven't opened yet.
Okay, I'm gonna go to one of the spigots and turn it on.
You turn it on and a green liquid comes out.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some of it in my mouth, not drink it, and then pull it over to the cauldron and spit in it.
Okay.
Spit in it.
Oh!
So he pours in the red liquid, you spit in the green liquid. Okay, so now there's red and green. As soon as the green liquid hits the red liquid, they both begin to fizzle and turn into a white steam and dissipate. And now there is no liquid in the cauldron.
I am going to, if there's any kind of red liquid still in my bowl, I'm going to kind of fling, not the bowl, but kind of fling the liquid out of my bowl at Ponto and then kind of storm off to go get more red.
Okay, yeah, that happens. A couple drops of red liquid hit you. You go back. Zeno, you were filling up the bottle with the blue. What are you doing?
Once it fills up, I'll go to the cauldron, and I'll wait for Difer to bring the red liquid before pouring it in.
Okay.
I'm going to bring the red liquid, get up to the cauldron, make eye contact with Z, is like, glad there's someone else here I can trust, and pour in my red liquid.
And I'll pour in the blue.
And
Okay.
I'll look at Ponto.
So the red and the blue, as soon as those liquids touch each other, they begin to swirl and into white steam, and nothing has happened.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the green, and then I'm gonna go over to the one that we haven't opened, and I'm gonna open that one, and then put a little bit of that in my mouth as well, so that they're mixed in my mouth.
Okay, so with a mouthful of green liquid, you open the last spigot, and yellow liquid comes out.
Yeah.
You put your mouth underneath the spigot to try and grab a little bit.
Yeah.
As soon as the yellow liquid hits the green liquid, your head fills with white steam, which comes out of your nose and your mouth, and all of that liquid is now gone.
Cool. So these two don't mix.
So the inside of the cauldron is stained purple, you said, correct?
That is what you saw.
All right. What do you think, Aenwin?
I think that they could have left better directions for how to mix potions in this temple.
Should we just try all of them? I see no
Sure.
harm in it.
Yeah, why not?
Wait, no, we
Turn
don't have
all
enough
these
containers.
spigots on.
We don't
I'll just
have
turn
enough.
all the
containers.
spigots on.
Yeah, let's turn all the spigot. Wait, have we at any point turned on just the red and blue spigot and left them on? We did.
Yep, Awen did that.
We could. Did we pour them in at the same time, Z?
Yes.
Pour them in at the same time. All right.
What you've learned so far is that whenever more than one liquid touches each other, they interact in some way. And so far, all the liquids that you've had touch each other and interact have resulted in white steam and the liquids disappearing.
So is there any way that we can put them in the cauldron without them touching each other?
They just put the bowl in the cauldron with the blue in the flask. But I think maybe we should try some different combinations because maybe these liquids, it's more of a magical or chemical reaction that causes them to turn purple and not just their colors.
Sure. Okay. Try just red, just blue, then just yellow, then just green. Then, let's see, we tried red and blue. We tried
green and yellow.
Green. You tried green and yellow. You tried
I want to do green and
red
blue.
and green. So
Green and blue.
green and blue, blue and yellow, blue and green. Then we'll have to get into triple color combinations if that doesn't work. Did we do all the colors yet?
We do all of them. I am going to go.
Only Marky Mark was here.
And Z, you have no knowledge on how to do this or what this could be, or even if we should even be here. Maybe there's another entrance somewhere else.
Is it when we walked in? Was there like workstations and things of that nature, or is just a hall?
Nope. In fact, you've been in this room before. You've seen Marky Mark working in this room, and you seem to recall that the mosaic was not there when you were here before. But this is kind of his main work room. You've seen him mixing his own potions and stuff like that in this room, in this cauldron.
So the mosaic now, is that engraved in the wall or is that painted?
It's carved in the stone.
Right.
As far as you can tell.
May I ask what color the mosaic is?
Stone wall colored.
It's just a carving. There's no color. Can I go over? I want to go over to the mosaic and kind of feel like press against it.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Investigation. That would be a 6.
Yeah, it's just a stone wall with carving in the stone.
All right. May I knock against it, kind of like see if it's hollow on the other side, judging by the sound?
You don't get the sense that it's any different from any other wall just by knocking on it. It's pretty thick. It's also made of stone.
What the heck? I'm going to try to push against it. Can I use my just kind of like shoulder butt it, the wall, the mosaic?
Yeah, go ahead and make an unarmed strike against the stone wall.
Well, like, what do you want? If I do an unarmed strike, I don't need to roll to hit, do I?
We'll say the wall.
Is this a mimic or whatever those things are called?
Just go ahead and roll. Yeah, roll to hit with an unarmed strike.
All right. I got a 12.
Yeah, you bash the wall with your shoulder. The wall doesn't move, and your shoulder hurts.
All right.
Can I investigate the wall to see if there's any kind of switch or latch?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Unnatural 20.
You very thoroughly check the wall, and there is no physical switch or anything there.
All right.
The only thing of interest in this room is the cauldron in the center of the room and the spigots with the colored liquid. Nothing else in this room is interactive at this point.
Is there any symbols on any of the spigots?
No.
All right. I say we just start mixing colors at this point. Who's with me?
Yeah.
All right. Z, you go grab some blue. I'll go grab some green. Let's try this.
Okay.
Take a wooden bowl, get some green, get to the middle of the room, and pour it in the cauldron.
Blue, and I'll do the same.
Green, blue, white steam. Didn't work.
Is there some kind of riddle with... Let's try blue and yellow. I'm going to go get some yellow. You go get some blue, and we're going to try again.
Okay.
Okay. Blue and yellow, white steam. Didn't work.
I'm going to go put some green in my mouth, and then I'm going to cup my hands underneath the yellow, and then I'm going to go sit in the cauldron, but I'm not going to let them touch.
Okay, so you're sitting in the cauldron with yellow in your hand and green in your mouth, and you're sitting in the cauldron.
Yes.
Okay. That happens.
Yeah.
I'm then going to go get some red and pour it on him.
Okay. Are you doing anything else, or just letting him pour it on you?
I'm going to keep my hand away so that it doesn't mix, but I'm going to let him pour it on me.
Okay, so the red runs down you and is now pooled around your legs. So there's red inside, yellow in your hand, and green in your mouth.
Yes.
And then we're going to get one flask of blue and just set it so it's not touching the other ones.
Okay, so there's a bottle of blue liquid. There's red liquid.
Cauldron.
And there's red liquid pooled around his legs. He's holding yellow in his hands and he's got green in his mouth. Okay. So all those things happen. The liquids haven't touched. They aren't interacting and nothing else has happened yet.
All right, Ponto, on the count of 3, drop your hands and spit. 1, 2, 3. Go for it.
I do that, so crush the flask so that it breaks, so that the blue mixes.
Okay, so you're smashing the blue flask so that red, blue, yellow, and green mix all at the exact same time?
Yes.
Okay. All 4 of them combine and swirl and swirl.
It's white smoke.
And turn into a puff of white steam. It did not work. All 4 at the same time does not work.
Can I go back to the closet and look for any kind of recipe or instructions?
Yeah, you get back to the closet and you find a little pamphlet and it just says, "Purple, ha ha ha, they will never get it. I will always be safe." And it disappears in your hand.
Is there a container with any purple in it?
There are no other containers. The only things of interest are the cauldron and the spigots.
Purple. Does anyone understand this? It has to be an inside joke or something. I mean, there's always blood, which is like red and blue depending on oxygen levels. Is it just blood? I'm going to walk to the cauldron and just get a prick my finger and kind of like dab a drop of blood in the bottom of the cauldron.
A drop of blood hits the bottom of the cauldron, and now there's blood in the cauldron, and nothing else has happened.
Worth a shot.
You feel like you're very close to solving the mystery of this room, though. Before the blood. Besides the blood.
All right, let's mix. What have we not mixed?
Have we left the faucets on to combine together all 4?
So after a few seconds of hitting the ground, they turn into their own red or blue steam, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once it runs, once there's enough pooled together, it starts to dissipate, so it doesn't spread out very far.
Is the steam always the color of the liquid?
For the 4 individuals, yes. When you've combined them, they've always been white. When you've combined any 2 of them, or all 4 of them, it's been white.
What would be purple?
Red and blue.
But we've already done that. Did we do it in the wrong order?
We never tried 3.
There has to be some trick to this.
You do all realize that you haven't tried 3. It rings true when he says that.
All right. I'll go grab some blue. Ponto, go get some green in your mouth, and then pick whatever color you want. See.
Oh, it needs to be at least red and blue. And the third color is either green or yellow.
Well, Ponto crushed the vial. So
That's true. You don't have it anymore.
I am going to take the helmet. Do I have a helmet?
Yeah.
I'm going to take my shield, and because there's a curve on it, going to put some blue liquid, carefully go to the cauldron and just kind of dump it in, and then kind of wave my shield around.
Okay, so there's now blue liquid in the cauldron.
I'm gonna go put green liquid in my mouth.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna cut my hands for red.
Okay.
We still have a bowl.
With a mouth full of green and hands full of red, what are you now doing?
I'm now gonna go over to the cauldron and spit and pour at the same time.
Okay, so now red, blue, and green are all mixing together, and they swirl and they swirl and they puff into white steam.
All right, yellow. It has to be yellow.
So I'm gonna go get yellow in my mouth, red in my.
And I'll get some blue on my shield.
Okay, so you pour the blue in, and then you approach with the red and the green in your mouth, and what are you doing?
Spit and pour.
Okay, so red and blue and green all together, and they swirl around, and then they puff into white steam. Red, blue, and green did not work.
No, that was red, blue, and yellow.
That was red, blue.
That didn't work also.
Well, I think there's only one thing to do, Ponto, in a time
Blue,
like
yellow, and green.
I was going to say let's leave, but let's try it. Blue, yellow, and green. Exact same thing. I'm going to go get it with my shield. I'm going to put in the bloody cauldron, and he's going to go get yellow and green and spit in it.
Yes.
Okay, so there's blue in the cauldron. You approach with green in your mouth and yellow in your hands.
Yes.
And you spit and throw it in, and it swirls, and it swirls, and it turns into a purple liquid.
Are you kidding me?
And puffs into purple steam. And you all look over and see that the stone carved mosaic wall is all starting to move, and the figures on the wall are now moving and articulating as the wall magically opens itself, revealing a magic chamber behind it.
Blue, yellow, and green.
The answer to the riddle was any three that does not include red and blue.
But
the chamber opens.
But we had to mix them separately because if we just did green and yellow, they turned into white smoke by themselves.
So it had to be three together at the same time, and it can't have a combo of red and blue. The hidden chamber opens. Emerging from the back, you see a small, shrivelly, little, scared high elf named Marky Mark, as he comes out of his hiding chamber and says, "You solved it! You solved the riddle! You've set me free! My thanks to you! You're so intelligent! It seemed like you got it very quickly." And then he says, "Let me reward you with one of my specialty potions, which are potions of..."
Oh no.
Invisibility. Here's an invisibility potion for you.
I'm gonna go up to him, take it, slap him, and walk away while going to pick up my loot. And I'm walking out.
Okay, so with a loot in one hand and an invisibility potion in the other, you begin storming out of the potion temple after having successfully saved Marky Mark, the potion master. What's everybody else doing?
Did he have one potion, or was there one for each of us?
Well, let me find out. There were 2 total. So there's one more. After getting slapped, he holds up a second one and says, "Do you want one more? No more slapping, please."
Aenwyn, you can take this one.
I'll say yes, thank you. Are you Marky Mark?
Of course.
Oh, why were you here for so long?
When the spider creatures attacked, I hid myself in my safety chamber, which I knew only the most intelligent people could ever enter, and so I figured I would be safe until the creatures were gone.
Did you build a way for yourself to get out of said chamber?
Of course, there's a button on the inside, but I didn't know if it was safe out here. But
So
it looks
you
like it is now, thank you.
You hear a voice, a very loud voice from the other room saying, "You couldn't hear me singing? You couldn't hear me singing?"
If you want, it's acoustically dampened. It's very quiet inside. I had no idea you were here until the door opened.
Well, Marky Mark, we're glad that you are okay, but the Queen has been worried about you. May we escort you back to her?
Of
We'll
course,
make-
let's.
Sorry, Marky Mark, continue.
Yes, let's go. Let's go back. Are you the brave knight from a few days ago who saved us from the monsters?
I am a brave knight, but I am not that brave knight, but I am from the kingdom of said brave knights.
Oh, interesting. I guess that's still kind of exciting. Anyways, let's go back to the Queen. So, with Marky Mark in tow, the 4 of you make your way back to the Queen, having solved his security puzzle. She is very grateful to all of you. She does give each of you, as a result of your efforts, let's see. She says, "This has very little value to us here, but I can give this for you for when you return home." And she gives you each 38 gold. And then she tells you that the information she gave to the other knight and his crew was to head to the Drow, which are the Dark Elves, and they live in the caves underneath a mountain on the northern end of the Feywild. She describes where that is to you and bids you adieu. Before you all part, do you want to speak to each other or speak to Zeno about anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to Zeno. I don't want to be. Oh, I've had such a wonderful time with you. I've never seen someone play fishball as good as you have. And I was wondering if there was any way that I could remember you by. Do you perhaps have one of those balls you use that I could have? Maybe a signature?
I could probably get you one.
I would love that.
When are you heading out?
Not until we get that from you.
Evening begins. Evening is falling, and the Queen lets you know that you may stay overnight safely here before you take your journey, just so you know kind of what time of day it is.
Well, I think... Speak, Zeno.
I will go get you one of those balls. It was a pleasure. Pleasure adventuring with you. I wish you the best on your journey. You could always come back and hang out. Maybe I could teach you some blurball.
Zeno, if we return here, if you would teach me that blinding strike, that would be most helpful on our quests in the future.
Of course. It's actually quite simple. He looks around. It's just the light cantrip. It gives
The
you a
what?
wing.
The what?
The light cantrip.
The light cantrip?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means.
So, it's a type of spell.
Got it.
Your drift globe.
Oh, that's your drift globe. I don't have that.
I thought I handed it to you because you can't see in the dark.
I don't think we ever got that far. I have the Pro of Power. My sheet says nothing about having the drift globe. Anyways, thank you so much, Zeno, for your help. You have been most what's the word I'm looking for? Helpful and courageous. And I'm glad you are okay. You had a pretty nice, as I just am a loss for words, I'm going to turn it away.
Just mid-sentence, you just turn and leave.
It happens a lot. Don't worry.
Awesome. Well, you take your rest for the night. You bid farewell to Zeno after he gets you one of the blurball balls. And we'll call that the end of the session tonight. Thank you all for playing. We went a little longer than I had anticipated. Apparently that puzzle was harder for some people. What's funny to me is you were so close so many times and then you just stopped. And did a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, let's go back to the closet and look for stuff there, and let's try and poke the mosaic. You were right on the edge of it for very, very, very long time, which is very funny and awesome, but it just took a while. For those of you on the East Coast, thank you for staying up super duper late to play. It's always tough with D&D to know how long things will go. This session, I planned less than any session before, and it went longer than most sessions, because that's just how D&D goes sometimes. So thanks for being patient and sticking with us. Thank you all in Twitch land who watched and played along. Looks like we just got one more poll finished here. Twitch viewers say that Jay was a vial of perfection. So thank you, Jay, for coming and playing with us. We do have one final giveaway at this late hour from our good friends over at Easy Roller Dice. So we're gonna go ahead and get that started for the last couple minutes while we're saying our goodbyes. The code word for this, the keyword is shift, 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 for their special color shifting dice trays on Kickstarter that you should go check out. We'll let that run for a minute while we all say our goodbyes. Jen, I know it's pretty late where you are. Do you have any final parting thoughts for us all as we head off to sleep tonight?
Nope. I hope you all have a good night. Thanks for staying up, and no licking.
Okay, can we give a round of applause to Jen for making a no licking sign? Seriously, holy cow. Oh my gosh. I don't know about you guys, but I had a blast. I was laughing the whole time. This was an awesome session. Thank you, Jen. James, anything? Ginger?
I just wanted to say thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone in chat. And words are hard. Grammar is hard. So you know what? If you mess up your words, don't beat yourself up about it. It happens to everyone, and me especially. And also, stay tuned to TLE over the next few days. We have a lot of other esports that we do. We run Rocket League, Valorant, League of Legends, Smash Bros. So stay tuned and watch the channel, and especially on Thursdays for Rocket League, because you'll get to hear more of my grammatical errors.
Awesome.
And yeah, I want to say thank you. And I don't typically like to plug myself, so what I'm going to do is again plug Jay and Vyled. It's seriously super freaking like I have their beard oil just sitting by my desk, and whenever I'm like, it doesn't smell well enough, I'll just put some in my beard, rub it in there. It's fantastic. It looks super dope. It looks awesome. And once I'm out of it, I'm going to convert the bottle into like a potion thing. So,
Oh, heck yeah.
wait, guys, go check out his website at least. You'll find
Thank
something.
Awesome. Thank you. And great job plugging that. I'm sure Jay doesn't mind the extra attention
Oh, yeah.
there. Jay, thanks, dude. You were such an awesome guest player jumping in, especially after we all took a month off to come right back in on such short notice and create that awesome character. Thank you, man. Do you have any thoughts?
Oh, I just want to thank you guys. I had a blast tonight. It's been my first time playing in months, since the whole quarantine. I was so excited. I was nervous at the beginning, but you guys made it so easy, and I had such a great time.
Well, thanks, dude, and thanks for being a supporter of the show and a fan of the show. We love you and we love Wild, and this was super fun and awesome. And just for those of you at home watching, a lot of the stuff with Blurball and all that, Jay and I kind of worked together on some of that, and he did a lot of creating of that story and that whole thing, which was really awesome. Okay, we do have a winner for the giveaway from Easy Roller Dice. $15 gift card is going out to Priest Sizzle. Congratulations, Priest Sizzle. Awesome. Thank you all so much. Thanks for coming back after a month and playing along with us. The next show is scheduled to be 2 weeks from tonight, so that will be the 23rd of April. Will be session number 5. And with that, we will say good night. And thanks again for all of you. We love you. Stay safe. Take care of each other. Be happy. Take care of yourself. And we'll see you soon. Have a good night. Bye.
Good night, guys.